want to know, which matchup are you most excited for in the first round of playoffs? We've got SEN versus DRX, we've got Trace versus EDG. We mentioned those already, but we also have G2 taking on Leviathan, and of course Heretics versus Fnatic. Scan the QR code on screen. I think it's there. I'm just gonna, no, it's
good
here.
enough for government one.
I was somewhere there. I had it right the first time. To vote, of course, and we'll have the results in just a bit. And make sure you use the hashtags Valorant Champions and VCT so we can feature you on the broadcast as well. Just tell us how you feel.
Feature me on the broadcast. I love getting featured on the broadcast.
This one, this first one.
It has to be.
That sounded like I was mocking them, but I'm not. I'm just bored.
The rest of the year for both of the teams that we're about to see, it has to be, and the rest is just. Yes, there is revenge. There's a lot of story behind it.
Let's see. Let's make sure this map command is emptied out.
The last hope of Korea versus the Sentinels on the run back after a rough year post-winning Madrid. I feel like there couldn't be better stories, and it should be a great match too.
Yeah, and while you guys are home are casting your votes, let's see what the experts
let's
have to say. Two
see.
people who have definitely never ever been wrong about anything in their lives. Here's Bren and Saisha with Bracketology.
Oh, the bracketology's back. Oh.
Somehow we actually did a decent job with the group stage, thanks to Safe and you trying to put Sentinels over Gen G.
Not somehow, I just knew.
Absolutely mad. So we've ended here, but we're back for another bracketology. Myself
These
and Brent.
friggin' guys.
I'm going to work from this end, you're going to work from that end, and we'll meet in the middle.
Okay.
We've obviously got to start with the first one.
Yeah.
This is my responsibility. I think DRX has got the better map pool, but I think Sentinel's form recently.
You think you're giving Sentinels a win there?
I'm giving Sentinels.
Oh my God, he's doing it.
Your hand. Give me a Sentinel sticker real quick.
What are you
because
doing
I'm
with
starting
this?
on this side, but what I want is that I'm going to go full narrative build. I'm full storyline build right now. I want a Sentinel's lower bracket run, which means they have to start from here somehow. So you need to make Sentinels lose at some point.
Oh, this is a fun way to do it.
I also think that EDG are actually going to be able to beat Trace, and that might seem an upset based on what's happened so far.
No, that's legit. I think that's the more reasonable one. I think DRX SEN is really, it just comes down to your bias currently.
Okay, now I also want DRX in the finals too.
Oh.
What?
This is what I want.
That's impossible.
For the finals. That's what I want.
It's already
This isn't even possible anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll have to compromise in the middle. We'll have
oh wait, yeah,
these friggin'
Don't worry, we'll
hooligans.
compromise. G2 playing against Leviathan.
These friggin' hooligans.
I think the G2 have got the advantage in that game. I don't think we've seen the best from Leviathan so
These
far in
two
this tournament.
goofballs.
They're going through.
Okay, I mean, give me another Sentinel sticker because I'm just going to add them like down here through the lowers, I suppose. And I do want eventually at some point, I would like.
You want eventually at some point. This is a great way to do this segment, though.
People in random places now.
I can't even grasp.
What, EDG beating Trace? I don't think that's the hot take that people think it is. It's not. I don't think it's like a guarantee. I think Trace's current form could take down EDG, but I think the style that Trace plays is better suited against non-Chinese teams.
I would argue. So we've got Team Heretics.
I also think they played some of the best Valorant they have in a while. So I think, I mean, if we're going purely off of recency bias, sure.
I'm just my
But
brain. It doesn't really. Know. So hold on, wait.
We can get Fnatic through here. Listen, Fnatic will
These
win
guys.
this game, apparently, according to your bracket.
Yes.
Though they don't want to stay on the board.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Don't worry, I'll deal with Fnatic.
They really want to drop out of the tournament for some reason.
So that means then that they must be playing against Sentinels. Or okay, Fnatic SEN
There
have
we
to
go.
happen here.
It has to happen there.
That has to happen there. SEN have to drop down
Or
in
we
order
could
to
just
make
have
your bracket a reality.
We could have DRX win versus SEN here.
You'll have to negotiate better than that.
We've got 25 seconds. We don't have any time to do this
Okay,
anymore.
I've got G2 winning against Team Heretics.
Okay, G2 over Team Heretics, and then that means we've got SEN over... No, wait, because SEN are in the lowers, so that means EDG wins.
This is a great way for them to slightly hide their opinions.
What's going on here?
Yeah, okay, and
EDG
then...
versus SEN. How do one of them get up there? All right, DRX is going to drop down.
But this is just now your bracket.
No, you can do what you like.
This is just... Okay, I mean, just give me more SEN stickers. I'm just going to put SEN everywhere. They win here.
Team Heretics down here.
Just
I'm just fixing my commands here real quick.
Who's this team? Who won? Who lost? Who's in the
Team
finals?
Heretics have got to win that one.
G2?
We're running out of time.
G2 in the finals? So then who's down here? EDG?
Thank you.
Perfect bracket. No, it's not a perfect bracket. I didn't want any part of this.
These friggin'
goofballs
goofballs.
on SEN City. So let's talk about that. Will they be right about bracketology for once? Because as you guys know, not often they are. But in terms of Sentinels, there's a reason why everybody's really hyped about the Mimi, and it's legit.
I mean, this Gen G game was ridiculous that they not only beat the tournament favorite, but did it with not even allowing them to make it to double digits in either game. And now they've made it into playoffs and have a chance to knock the only other Korean team left in this tournament down to the lower brackets. For a team that is so loved, they have a chance to go on their absolute villain arc here against them.
And think about them.
No, I don't know if we can do it.
Before they even came to the tournament, they barely make it to playoffs. They don't win a map there. They're just waiting. Thanks to the points and the performance that they had at the beginning of the year.
I'm like so nervous for this match.
Placed in that group of death. Honestly, justice for FPX. At some point, we're going to get it. But getting that first match against, yes, the team that you got the trophy off from in Madrid, it was amazing. What a beginning of the year. But for the rest of the planet, Gen G
DRX got this. I mean, I think they can, but that the literally Sentinels, like the way they finished the group stage is so. I mean, it's scary. Like those are things that you just can't account for, right? Especially in an FPS more than a lot of other genres, I would say.
Was absolutely on point throughout this one. I think they fixed their spacing, their trading, a lot of the fundamental issues they were showing earlier in the tournament.
When we think it's over, it's back.
I think all of those aforementioned pistol rounds had really strong plans specifically against what Gen G was doing. And in the
I mean, listen, if I'm trusting in anybody, it's Buzz. Like that's for sure. But the biggest thing for me is like Sentinels, right? Is the momentum still there, right? Was it enough of a boost to? Was it really a jump start again, or are they, did they cool off a bit? Was that a kind of flash in the pan type of thing? I mean, I think they're definitely going to look better than they have during, the end of stage 2, but can they keep up that momentum? And then I would say for DRX, I mean, I think it comes down to Bane and Foxy9.
Brother from another mother, Saucy. You already know how to do it to you, Poppy. First things first, man. You guys have already sent home one Pacific team, a prolific team in Gen G. Now you're in an opportunity here to maybe even send DRX to the lower bracket. How does Sentinels maintain this level of consistency? Because you guys are just frying right now.
I think, honestly, the most important win it was against FPX, It gave us pretty good confidence to come into against Gen G. And, we got the win. It's good. And we got to playoffs, but I think it's just the beginning.
Yeah, was that just pure confidence builder for you there?
Honestly, yeah, it was like a more mentality difference. Yeah, we were pretty confident against Gen G.
Now you're in a position
They both wear glasses too. They both have facial hair too. It's so uncanny now that you
mention it. Does that weigh on you at all as you get ready for these matches throughout the competition?
Honestly, brother, I don't even think about it. I'm just like going with the flow, I think the results always consequence of our work, our preparation. So it's been going good so far, but who knows? We'll see today.
Hey, if there's one thing you're going to the flow has been working pretty good for you, my man. All right, back to you guys.
It doesn't bother anybody else that the fans.
Why Sassy could be the one to do that twice here, but also
the fans are like told to be still. I assume in the background, it makes them look like paid actors.
One of the reasons why they managed to get that win under their belts was because of Sassy.
Like they could be a bit more. Like obviously you don't want them to get rowdy. Like I assume it's it's for safety measures, but it's like they could be like trying to get their signs into the camera and like. I don't know, making funny faces, like I'm not saying they should be trolls, but they could be not paid actors, you know what I mean?
To these Champions tournaments and seems to step
just a little weird.
Significantly better when he's playing at Champions. Of course, the last time he went on a run at one of these events, lifted that trophy. Now
went on a run
that can do that. But as you heard in that interview, it doesn't really weigh on him. I think he takes much more of a role as the veteran for this team, building.
Where's my epic pen? There it is.
Year, and you need a player like that who has that experience through the highs and lows that a team like Loud did to be able to kind of keep everyone in it and find their form again when it matters most.
How crazy the context is that we can say SEN has had a difficult year when they won Masters 1, right? But you are right, like the rest of it, there's so many things that have been going up and down that everything comes into consideration.
I mean, speaking of the year, Mimi, tell me how it started in the off-season.
Yeah, I mean, it's been since the beginning for this Sentinel squad where they started off by despite being the team who is so prolific in that offseason, right? Playing more events than mostly anyone else in North America, including here in Korea, where they won the Africa TV tournament. And I think that's when people first got excited for this team. But it was a very different start for DRX. Their roster wasn't built up at this point. They still had that DRX team that people knew and loved from the past. They lost in this tournament, but then through the early stages of Pacific, they made the biggest change in really the history of this squad, picking up 3 new rookie players who were unproven at this level and pushing them to then kind of come back at the final hour and make it to champions and find a form that can compete with the Sentinels who crushed that old DRX roster.
So in the grand scheme of things, you can say Sentinels has played against DRX, but he was a very different than one. As Mimi's saying, this was the beginning of the Sentinels that we're saying, but it was the end of the previous DRX before those changes were made, and especially
Old Loud was scary. Old Loud was very scary.
I mean, of course, there's one guy that's always been there. It's Tens, and let's hear from him.
Oh, we are so back for the time being. How long we are back for?
Sentinels definitely playing against Gen G again
is a big question. Oh my gosh, I almost spilled my water. Oh my gosh.
Deja vu. Just being able to win, like kind of in the same way too on Icebox. I think it was kind of like a cherry on top of the story. And I also think that's one of the reasons why they're so good is they actually look like a group of friends similar to how we look when we're playing our best. So I definitely think for Gen G, it's a bright future. If it wasn't for us, I mean, they probably would have won all 3 tournaments back to back. But overall, like they're amazing teams. So
Damn,
I'm just really glad that we
damn, Tens. The winner can speak. The winner can speak like that. It almost hurts. It almost hurts that he says that.
The Spectre upgraded in the hands of Munchkin. Can he hold the line? Finding all 3!
All the Sentinels fans cheering for us in the stands. It's amazing to have you there, and we definitely appreciate the energy. We did recently knock out one of your
You gotta
teams.
tell the meetings to stop.
Our side.
The
So you can say that your
universe
team
is
lost
about
the
to
tournament
choose its destiny.
I love the confidence from Tens, but they would have to take down DRX today if they want to make it all the way. And let's talk about DRX, because for a moment,
The only
Kuka,
people who can
I don't
repeat
think
champs
we
are
would
in
even
Lev.
be
Well, you
talking
mean
about
bet?
DRX, 'cause they just weren't
What?
there for the
Saucy's
first 2 tournaments.
Yeah,
on Sentinels.
and it's crazy. We were talking about the changes and everything that the team has been undergoing this year, but now they have become the last hope for Pacific in this champions. And you know what? In 2023, you might have
Damn,
thought,
the
yeah,
saucy
this was always the case,
disrespect
you know,
from
maybe
YouTube.
Paper Rex, here and then, but right now,
The Korean
all the
Zelsus,
time,
man. He's literally
all the time
copying
that they
Zelsus'
have planned for
ceremony.
this year, everything that they had to overcome
Apparently,
comes down to
2xKO playtest wasn't for all regions. My SEN account tried to use one of those new pieces. Oh. But your JP account used it fine. I would actually be curious. I have no idea. I would have to ask somebody. That's a good question. I haven't heard from anyone in Korea playing it yet, but I also haven't looked. I guess I could check out the Naver platform later.
And is that last
a good way to
hometown team? I think people
find
were
out.
rightfully worried after seeing their first game against Crew. They came out.
But your Japanese account used it fine. I should have double dipped with my Japanese account. Oh my gosh. I didn't even think about that. The 2xKO playtest.
They have won 4 straight, including an upset over
DRX, the only hometown team left in contention. I assume by hometown they meant Pacific, because otherwise it doesn't really hit that hard, because there were only 2 to begin with, but technically it is just 2. I mean, it is Pacific, but it's not. I mean, I guess it's Pacific's home arena, but
a real contender to win champions.
And that's the crazy thing. You do all of that to make
yeah,
it
I wish that would have been specified for 2xKO.
I mean, there's no easy way out of this, right? And especially with the
I just want, okay, here's the thing. Win or lose, I just want Bane and Foxy9 to like to play their heart out, right? I don't want to see them crumble under pressure again.
For me, Mimi,
like that hurts so bad to watch. Dude, Buzz is in his mode though. He's like, screw the camera, screw the laughing. I don't care what people think, man. I'm out here gaming, man. I got my friggin' pure white mouse pad. How in the world does he keep his mouse pad white? How is that even possible?
For aggression and taking map control early, they're a team with a lot of depth, but also some incredible highlight players.
Yeah, and
wanted all APAC teams top 8 in this tournament. This was our worst result yet. I mean, there was a world, but also.
Hey, I'm here with Buzz.
I mean, the PRX not making it is actually not too shocking to me. I mean, I predicted that. See, like they're moving. Like that's, you know, ever so mildly, but there's a little bit of animation.
Is there any pressure for DRX to step up today?
To be honest, there's no pressure to us. I mean, everyone say we are the only hope in the Pacific, but we really don't care about it. We lose, we lose, we win, we win. We are going to play in very comfortable but very confident. Yeah.
Yep, that's the most important.
What has been the biggest contributing factor to DRX's recent success? Because you guys, especially yourself, you're playing absolutely phenomenal right now.
I mean, everyone wanted to win. And that means everyone really worked hard, even coaching staff really worked hard, and that pays off.
It definitely does, man. Hey, best of luck today, brother.
Buzz was too serious. He was too real this interview. His real answer should have been, the greatest motivation to win was Frost trying to call me out.
Raise a trophy before he did. He's still working on himself. He's still improving, and somehow he's still.
He should have been like, shout out to Frost, my homie. Fired me up.
He doesn't care that they're the last ones. If you want to win, you will put in the work. That's what they're focusing on right now, and his individual performance has been.
That would have been the way to go. Do you think DRX wins? I think DRX can win. I'm like, objectively speaking, I would almost toss a coin for this match.
His defensive opping has looked ridiculous. I've loved watching him on the Raze as well. I feel like his entry pathing is always so perfect off his team's utility. And
I think the reason is I think both teams have some very confident ways that they can win, but both of them actually they've shown some, like, these are not the most consistent looking teams in terms of consistency, right? And at an individual level, and in a top 8 of the world, that matters the most. So that's I think that's why it's tough, and both of them seem to be affected by a lot of intangible things like pressure, you know, the hype and all of that. So they both seem to be fairly emotional teams when it hits right or wrong, and I think that's why it's a little bit harder to read. Well, we'll see.
Again. This is a perfect chance because literally
oh my gosh, what was the map? What was the map? Oh, I didn't see it. They almost leaked it. Yeah, so Paper Rex, I think not making it is not shocking as much as I thought they could make it. I thought honestly they had one of the best groups they could have hoped for to try to make it, and unfortunately they couldn't.
Lift that trophy for his region.
And then Talon, I mean, I had Hopium, but that wasn't gonna work. What? Phase up? Foxy9, what? Was it Ascent? Really? Dude, Ascent and Lotus would be sick. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they did play Fnatic last year, right, in the off season. Dude, Ascent, leaving Ascent and Lotus both open, and each of them picking that would be hype. It could also be that the map wasn't selected yet because Ascent is the default map, but
이제 먼 게 아니라 할 수 있겠구나. 나도 이제 우승을 할 수 있겠구나라고 생각했고 진짜 꼭 우승을 하고 싶습니다.
We look to play together. The smoke gone away. The util drained. The head spotted. Snappy with it is Bane. Here's the footsteps.
I'm actually so giga nervous. I think I'm like almost as nervous as Gen G versus Heretics in the grand finals.
작년에 비해 이제 솔직히 단단함이 좀 저는 개인적으로 지금은 살짝 좀 떨어진다고 생각하는데 지금 이렇게 프나틱을 이김으로써 저희의 단단함은 점점.
Okay, he's being objective. That's good. That's a good sign. We're gonna read into everything possible, like the crazy fans out there.
하지만은 개인의 퍼포먼스는 저는 개인적으로 중요하다 생각하지 않고 결국엔 팀이 이기는 게 가장 중요하기 때문에. 저는 개인적인 퍼포먼스보다 팀을 이기는 거에.
I mean, that is true, Foxy, but we do need you guys to frag.
무조건 트로피를 줄 수 있는 멤버라고 생각하고 있습니다.
We talk about how this year is the year of the rookies, and
do you think DRX ever printed them a bigger and better looking banner? Dude, Buzz had to do interviews on both sides, on English and Korean. Give this guy some time to warm up. Production, what are we doing? Production, what are we doing? You could have picked anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been absurd. I think to see the growth.
I guess, but the thing is most of those interviews, by the way, are done like immediately after their previous match. Although I guess for playoffs maybe it could have been different, but they are probably therefore actually tired.
It's really, I think, a special year for these guys and proof to the quality of talent in this region.
Yeah, before we get into the match, of course, we had Bren and Sideshow put their reputations on the line, so it's time for you two to put your
All non-NA teams? Yeah, that's not a bad chance.
In our fantasy team draft, because I want you guys
Why
to
does
pick
team
your
have
fantasy
the
team out of
logo
all of the
in
teams left
between?
Playoffs now, and we'll see how your teams will do at the end.
All 5
Be a
roles.
snake draft. You each
Yeah, 1 player per team, but must have all 4 regions. That makes it so much more complicated.
We need all 5 roles as well. We can't do the 5 IGL thing that we did a Game Changers. We did win.
We would have won. Yeah.
And your teams must also include all 4 regions. Now, earlier, I believe you rock, paper, scissors on who
All right.
We did, and Bear crushed me.
Yes.
My priority here.
How many times I have to say this?
All right, I get to write down your team.
My priority here.
Let's start. You get the easy pick.
Listen, Buzz is my boy.
I need to think what she's gonna go for. I'm gonna go Smoggy.
Yeah, you gotta think carefully when you do sneak drafts.
You don't know what I'm gonna do with my team.
All right, okay.
Good choice. I'll pick Buzz.
Yep. Oh yeah, dude, Mimi knows what's up.
Only one Pacific team, gotta grab him.
Okay, that means
you know what? He was on my list.
That's true. Also, he's the only Pacific team. They're the only Pacific team. Yeah.
I'm gonna take.
I would get Buzz and. Huh.
Take Leaf. I'm gonna be honest. That was one I.
Oh wait, hold up. No, we're doing snake draft, so you actually go next.
Oh,
yeah.
But I assume you're not
already trying to cheat. That's
so
crazy.
She's already trying to cheat. Oh man, who would I pick?
He's my
Valen. Valen's a good shout.
All right.
Valen's a strong shout.
No, she can't.
Listen, I think so. My priority would be Buzz, and then I would get Benji. I think.
So I get another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
After Leaf.
Okay, Smoggy Leaf.
I think.
Take John QT.
John QT. Okay.
John's not a bad shout either.
He is my goat.
I think I would be torn between John and Valen for IGL. I think.
He's my goat.
I mean, Boo would be the next shout, but.
Who am I gonna go for next?
I probably would have done Valen, but I think I might have regretted and maybe wanted John. But I mean, not because John I think is like necessarily better. I just think
I know exactly who
Benji, Valen. I need a Chinese player.
Okay. All right. Make sure.
I would need. And I have IGL. I've got Sentinel.
He's looked good on the controller role.
So I need controller and initiator. And I need a Chinese player.
I'm picking the one and only Chronicle. Winningest player in Valorant for a reason. This guy is fantastic. Round out
Oh, that's true. Chronicle. Totally forgot about that.
Can I squeeze
who do you want?
Nico into this? No, I'm just gonna keep it as Kron.
Cronny.
Yeah.
Huh.
Kron. And I'm gonna get.
Oh, that makes it tough.
So you get your 4 and 5.
Yeah, Rian's actually. Rian's might have been the better pick here. And then taking. No.
I want to get Rian's. I'm gonna get Rian's.
Okay. Anyone else? You got.
I mean, honestly, Rian's and then Hero wouldn't be a bad shout either.
Oh my god.
At which point, I guess.
But you know what?
I pick Smoggy. Oh man, no, that's.
I'm gonna take Flashback.
I mean, Smoggy or Chronicle, I guess they both kind of flex. That could work.
I need a CN player.
I think I'd be pretty strict with this though.
If only you didn't have a correct duelist.
If only. I mean, if only.
Flashback's a good way to pick up the Pacific player.
Oh, I just said
Kron did not get chosen.
He's gone. Who do I want? I was gonna say Luo King, but then I'd have 3 controllers on my team, and I don't want to.
You never know what the meta holds.
I think
That's true. Oh, Tens is actually a good shout too.
EDG.
Time to BNK. All right. Okay, Meme, I'm gonna have to rush you here. Give me a name.
Maybe he's taking this too seriously.
From CN, give me a name.
Nobody.
I'm gonna pick the one and only.
Yeah. Waiting. You have 9 players to pick from.
Okay. I'm just gonna do it.
Okay.
He's been so good this tournament. Are my rolls a little messed up?
The fact
Yes.
that Kankan didn't fake it, it's so good.
Yes.
I'm gonna even put the 1 in there for lurking, you know, just
Yeah,
Wait,
out of
what
respect.
is going on?
Just out of respect. All right, you guys make sure.
Who is
everyone keeps
Kakuka's
your
duelist?
eyes
Smoggy?
on, both of these fantasy teams, and we'll check in at the end of the tournament and see how that did. But for now, let's take a look at the master.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, Smoggy is pretty goated though, but no, that is pretty crazy. I feel like Kakuka picked Smoggy because he could flex around and then realized that she was out of options.
There's always a correct answer in these fan polls. Good job, guys. You're wise.
Yeah, it is. But I was surprised that Fnatic.
No, but I think if I like wasn't competing with anybody, I think mine would be
But I
Buzz.
think it is harder to get excited for the regional matchup.
Controller. I think Controller's the one I'm having most trouble with.
And, since I'm on the desk now, I can't.
Tens would be a good shout though.
That's the rule that I have to take it seriously.
What is this?
I'm the only person that said DRX.
Also, we're gonna have DRX playing today, and neither of them are even on the desk at all today. They're not even casting at all today.
And you might be the only one. Maybe you're the only one that
I mean, yeah, Smoggy though, is like, if we're thinking legitimately, I don't know if I trust him to play like all the controllers. You know what I mean? Granted, I don't trust Tens to play all the controllers either.
That's an easy pred for me.
Honestly, I agree. Like watching that Icebox, I remember it time after time.
No, I think I actually take Tens. Tens or Smoggy here for controller.
EDG have crushed them in China, but I think Trace have just
That leaves me open to take Benji, Kron for Flash Initiator, and then Valen. That might be the one I go for.
EDG. Day 11 of Champions Soul starts
Alright.
right now.
Here we go! Whew. Oh boy. But I would never trade out Buzz for anybody. Buzz, my goat. Buzz is my guy. If I had to pick one player to die on the hill for, it would be Buzz. In the entire world of VCT. Not even in this playoffs. It would be Buzz. Aspas might be the GOAT, but so far he's definitely ahead in the candidacy. But Buzz would be the only guy I would die on the hill for, I think.
What a wild run this has been. The amount of upsets this champions is insane.
现在只剩下8支队伍 DRX.
여기까지 오는데 꽤 시간은 많이 걸렸겠지만 돌아가는 데는 시간이 꽤 걸리지 않을 것입니다.
I love how they have. I love how Kong Kong's the main character. What is going on here?
G2. You guys got more work to do than us. The VR10. We are going with maximum confidence. Heretics. If we are having a good day, good luck. Fnatic.
The road was a little bit bumpy, but we tore through it.
在最后还有我们 EDG， 总会有一个人做好准备，那一定会是我。
I wonder why they chose EDG as. I wonder why they chose Kong Kong as the main character.
我觉得 T 玩的像一个欧洲队伍，但是他们有一点中国的特色在里面。但是我们是冠军。
Do you think it's because the production crew thought that the Chinese teams might get eliminated first? They wanted to make sure that they could feature them. Zeri, is the script going? Have they leaked the script?
没有选手的自信强过康康。来吧 ，T， 向我们展示一下你们在世界上的进步吧，看你们已经。
To be fair, Kong Kong exudes MC energy. I am never disappointed in using Kong Kong as a main character.
Every single member crumbling. Tonight, Soul burns red. Sentinels survive.
I love my current team, and Sentinels is also a family in itself. Being able to play with a group of people that I really enjoy playing with is just amazing to me.
Yeah. Gen G, everyone has to buy the SEN bundle. Okay. The underdogs again.
Yeah, that's true. 4th seed.
Yeah, Champs might be another absolute cinema.
That laugh was so forced. It probably wasn't even about that joke. They just edited it like that.
5명의 원년 멤버로 챔스에서 가장 진짜 항상 좋은 결과를 내는 걸 보고 좀 멀게 느껴졌었는데 지금 이렇게 하고 이제 강팀들이 이기면서 좋은 성적에 달려가다 보니
Most of the actual like in the city scenes are probably all shot ahead of time, and then they just keep splicing it together. They've already reused several shots throughout the entire group stage. But I feel like this script was probably used. It was probably recorded after the group stage.
오직 한 팀 젠지만 강하다고 생각하신 분들은 정말 잘못된 생각이고 저희가 모두가 컨디션이 최상이라면 이 세계
나리님 안녕하세요.
절대 저희 팀을 이길 수
저는 오늘
없습니다.
DRX와 EDG를 예측합니다. Exposing production. I mean, trust, it's just not possible any other way. Just not feasible.
DRX.
No crowd cheers.
The script writers knew
exactly
what they were doing. They give us the villains versus the remaining hometown heroes on day one of playoffs, and no matter what happens, it's going to be a banger. But the map, although, talk me through this.
This one's pretty interesting.
Sunset and Haven, really? Okay, wow. Well, I was off completely. They do ban the Lotus. DRX does ban the Abyss, though. They don't want to play it. I'm not surprised about that. I thought they would float it, but they actually ban it. Okay.
Either. So I think the big question is, will they go back to that same Breach Gecko comp? They kind of set the meta.
But leaving the Sunset open, I'm cool with that from DRX. The Haven pick I am interested in because that means they had to have fixed it quite a bit.
They've shown what they can do in the map. They know that the preparation that they did for Genji, they do not want to be
Ascent ban from SEN, not
Haven's
surprising.
the second round. I agree with you. Like, I'm very excited, and I think that most of this matchup.
I mean, I thought there was a world. I don't know if I mentioned it. I had so many different iterations of that map draft. Give me a second. Let me get predictions going first. No, I actually think this is fine for both teams.
It's almost impossible with how little showings we've had so late.
Sure, I do think it'll be tough to do that again. I think what they did against Genji was a lot of specific prep, but the form they have, the confidence coming off that win, those things will definitely carry through into this matchup.
All right, we got a short timer on the points predictions on Twitch.
These teams are playing the same comp. I think they both play a really similar style. Defense,
Shoot,
but
what does
heavy with some ideas for kind of early fights with that Breach Sova into lobby. A lot of really slow mid-rounding on their attack
What is
side.
DRX starting on?
I can't pick out
Okay,
a
they
clear
both
favorite
picked attack,
there.
and
So
then
I
Sen
think a
picks
lot comes
defense.
down to
Okay.
this Sunset and what Sentinels have to show on a map that they've not played in quite
Sentinels
a while.
Neon, okay.
Select, and my goodness, they've done some prep of their own.
Yeah, Assas is going to be moving on to the Fade, just moving away from that. Gecko second is going to be going on the Neon. I mean, I don't think that I hate it.
No, I really like this. I think the Neon looks good
ban.
on defense. They dominate extremity control really hard. Having that extra stun can provide
What's
a
the
lot
last
of
map?
value, and the fast rotates too are good.
What
the
am I-
biggest thing you're giving up
What am I
is those
missing out
shock
on here?
darts from the
Icebox, right,
Sova.
right.
Dealing with that Cypher can be a little bit harder without that agent.
Well, thank you very much, you two. It's time to toss it over to the two people, like I said, are never wrong about anything. Here's Bren and Sideshow.
Okay, Zek and Neon. Quite frankly, I think you could see this coming.
Yeah, blessed of it.
But
this is the matchup here, though, Josh. Listen,
we haven't
DRX
seen it,
versus Sentinels,
so
you think of two historic orcs, right? I think of a VCT's history, and despite that fact, they've only played each other once, and it wasn't even in VCT. It was on an off-season tournament earlier on in 2023, towards the tail end of the year, and it's the tournament that really kick-started this year off for Sentinels. It's what really formed this consistent roster. It got them stable in terms of the players that they actually wanted to field.
that is very true.
As well,
I mean, listen, no matter how the other teams looked at their Freaka TV League,
as our opening game
Sentinels looked amazing.
They're up here playing in the big
All right,
leagues.
off the bat, DRX is going to be on the attack. It's going to all in on B, and Sentinels, they take the read. And immediately, one way, no util, was just watching mid for a pinch onto B. They're prepped for this. They want to fight this. Sentinels want to fight this. Fully huge stuns. Oh my gosh. How does he not get more kills there? Oh, they were still just flustered just enough. But my gosh, dude, I thought second was going to flip that on its head.
And that threw a great read for Sentinels of what was going to happen. Sen won every pistol, every bonus against Gen G, and here,
all right,
like they were set up
DRX have already done it. They've already done better than Gen G in this matchup.
From Foxy9 and Mako, completely ruined.
Oh, dude. Okay, Bane's starting off hot. That's good. That's good. It doesn't mean that the game is won, but like, Bane and Foxy9 are the shakiest of this Vive. So.
Get off onto a much better start than Gen G did in the same spot.
And I have no idea about Ascension.
Regularly, because how could you not?
Oh, nice bait out on the fault line. Okay, so DRX, they read this. They're trying to see if it's a stacking, but I think DRX, because of that fault line, I think they're reading that it's a stack, but what they should realize is the fault line came out early to slow them down, right? And you realize there's no follow-up on it, so DRX should re-explore this. They really should, because it's a little weird. It's a little weird that they would use a fault line that doesn't cover a lot on an eco. So they're making the right call here. I don't know if they read that or if they're just like, hey, let's try to fake a rotate and see if they follow up, and if they don't, let's go back in. Either way, they make the right call.
Ten said in an interview earlier today that
you feel like every time they win, it's because of Foxy. That's exactly my point, though.
You want to lose to the tournament winners.
If you're needing him to be the one who pops off to win, then if he's not popping off, then you're not winning. I do think he's also put in positions where he's gotten a lot more consistent, but like he's put in roles where he has to do a lot more to be consistent. Except for the, well, actually even the chamber. So overall, a good read on the round from DRX. We'll see if they keep up with that. Right now, decent positioning. I mean, the spacing is very good. Well, except for flashback, but the trading is there. The cyber cage to keep him alive as well. I don't think they realize that. Oh, no, they do. Oh, they'll eventually lose one. They won't pick it back up because it's too far, so they lose one weapon. Bit of a shame. Chat, calm down. How many? Chat, we've been through this at Masters Shanghai. We've been through this at Masters Madrid. Stop it. Okay.
Not chaining up towards any massive ultimates to get online, but there is a possibility that they might be able to get something like the neural theft out for this next
It's
round.
okay. You don't need to calm down. Do as you wish. Let it all out. It's a safe space out here.
All of those pistols in the game against Gen G, because historically this year, that's actually been a big weakness for SEN.
All right, 3 half armors. Where everyone is very far from their ultimates. Even Bane still 4 points away. And so, okay, so far DRX, they're pressuring B every time, trying to see what the reaction is. It's a nice early recon bolt. They realize nobody is holding close, so there's no trap plays going on. The door is blocked. Aftershock to draw him out, but good spacing to try to make sure they change. So the Aftershock's gone, so they're like, okay, we do want to hit this. Buzz. He's not going to rush it. He knows the trap wire's there. He does get spammed. Oh, he was... Oh, the reload.
Somehow walks away with the 3. Flashback.
Oh, Foxy. Picked up the gun. He had to reload it.
5 bullets. Tens is holding.
He doesn't want to reload because he doesn't want to let them know, but...
Was Bane reloading? Was he blind? How on earth did Zelsis swing into...
I think they were both reloading or something.
Somehow make it out unscathed. That's kind of ridiculous. It's put him...
I'm not quite sure what Bane was doing. I think Foxy had to reload because he picked up Buzz's gun.
Look at this. He's in.
Oh, they're both reloading.
It was a reload.
Oh my gosh.
There. Bane is stuck in the reload animation and can't punish. He just has to watch in horror. As
you guys, take out your pistols.
Yeah, very. I mean, that could have easily gone wrong.
Yeah, Zelsis popping off on the breach, by the way. Zelsis getting... Zelsis has...
Because last time we saw them...
Every time I've watched them, I'm not going to say I've watched every one of their games, but every time I've watched them, Zelsis, if he starts to pop off on the breach on Sunset, he snowballs real hard. He's now only 3 points away from the Rolling Thunder, so he's caught up on the ult cycle, and that's going to allow Saucy to be able to chain through the Nightfall as well. So that round alone has suddenly put Sen in a decent, if not almost better position for ult cycling, which is something that, again, Sentinels focuses a lot on. On the defense, they don't have as much control over it, and on Sunset, they don't have as much control over it because they can't capitalize on both, but they are capitalizing on the A site, so...
That's going to keep people on the B site. A lot of pressure here on Sassy, who was phenomenal and has been so far.
Yo, appreciate it, Chris.
You have to get on the board here, but it's early days.
They're cutting noise, but Sen the default, I mean, Saucy is looking to just stay alive. He is kind of wide, and he's going to look to exit this way. The relay bolt isn't, and that's why Zekin's coming over, because worst case, he can help out with it. He's actually going to hold his util. Really good. Really good from Zekin. Mako can't stay alive. The slide out is good. Zekin knows he just has to fight through it. He doesn't have a way out.
He does get punished in the end with the trade still. He's turned it into that 3 versus 3. Noro theft. Given access and information towards it.
Oh my gosh.
This players and a quick tap as well through the box 69.
How does he?
Barely on any help. What? Fault line. Threw it out.
Oh my gosh, he's dead. Oh my gosh. Tens is popping off. Zelsis is popping off. It's all over, chat.
Cannot do it. Not against the form that Tens is in right now. It's a 3-piece to finish off that round.
I'm sure that's the expert insight and commentary you guys all come to my stream for.
It looked dangerous. Sassy's position just holding on to A there, and yet he read the play. They didn't lead with the fault line. They led, I believe, with a recon dart. And that allowed him enough time to be able to escape, and Zekin came in. What a slide, what a punish onto Buzz.
Dude, what is that? Oh, he hears the spike, though, so it's a fair spam. Bit risky that no one is there to peek for him. Actually, you gotta know that you get spammed there if you don't go all the way super close. I mean, really, they should have just planted super close. I don't know why he was in a position to get spammed. Oh, actually, no, I don't think it was the planter who got spammed, right? So it was whoever else was crossing behind him, which is also just like you both should have been outside of the spam range. But anyway, that's all very hindsight 2020. An eco round, see if DRX can climb back up. You are close to your rolling thunder. Dude, the out cycle is looking dangerous from SEN, though. So DRX should really focus on making sure that they get some good ults online for the next round. Bane's guaranteed his, so Foxy needs to be looking to get a kill.
Both teams looking to just hold on to this
Thunder? What in the world? Foxy needs to be looking to get a kill, an orb, or a spike plant, something. Only a half flash.
So I have a pretty good idea of how they want to try and lock down this A main extremity.
Bane's looking to put pressure on B, but he can't do anything yet because there's still so much noise on A. So either he takes slow contact, in which he just needs to win this duel. He just got, yeah, they just traded. Or... Okay, so he's been spotted. They've cut noise on A. Sentinels is going to go for the rotate, which is a very fair read. They could be worried about mid, but they're actually just going to ignore it because they still have the cam. And that is... Oh, I thought it was a double kill, but the fault line...
Oh my god! Just putting them into the blender.
I love that selfless play as well from Zekin because it traps the rest of DRX even if he went down into the choke point where the rest of his team...
That is Thunder. Oh my gosh, that's so loud.
What a time, by the way, to pull out Zekin's first game this year on Neon. Going into the playoffs, change around the...
Zekin's Neon is looking very good so far.
Okay, DRX's map pool is looking...
His slide out to make sure that they have advantage on the tempo of the fight. Like the stuff like this to make sure that their crosshairs are distracted, that they actually continue to have the advantage, that he can set up better trades.
Was this the ace up Sentinel sleeve?
It's it's very good. His Zekin's actually looking really good.
I think to try and get that early lead. You can argue that they might be in quote-unquote the easier side of the bracket, I suppose. If you look at the opponents that they might be going up against, like Trace and EDG, the potential winners of that matchup. But again, up for debate. We've shown a lot of
Zalsis. Oh no, they're in good spirits.
Was one of my... we were kind of discussing, I think, ahead of time of what might be sticking points for this DRX squad because they have a lot of...
Oh my gosh, this is dangerous. Anyway, during this timeout, DRX, I imagine they're... First of all, I imagine you talk about putting some pressure in freaking mid. Do something about mid. Make sure somebody's tied up so they don't have such fast backup. The only time they've hit mid is when they were already planning to do a pinch on the anti-eco. Just something in mid. If you're not going to go mid, you got to go for a bull rush somewhere to make sure you get complete control. And if you're going to do that, I suggest you do it on A because B main control has basically been given to you for free every single one of these rounds.
To try to win the mental game. As they did when they lifted their trophy this year in Madrid.
By the way, I think it's so funny that the subreddit... We have, what, 2 days of no matches and the subreddit goes insane, just everybody trying to post jinxes.
Trying to hit him with a
All right, so you know this. You know that second came out early. You do have the cam to try to maintain, but dude, the attackers have such an advantage early on. The fact that you're just trying to maintain passive pressure on mid. I mean, if you thought they were gonna push out, that's okay. But anyway, we'll see. Re-clear on. So already DRX is playing on the back foot. I don't like it. Right? You've now wasted a drone. You've spent 30 seconds. They've closed the door, and they can now hold. This is a super safe setup on A, where it's kill trips that you can spam through the wall, through the cyber cage.
Feel like you're on site. You can't just play fully off site. Teams are too good at that kind of stuff. They're just going to walk in. So you still got to apply a little bit of pressure while not getting caught.
They're going to look for a flank from flashback. Try to put pressure in mid. Okay, he watches for TenZ. That's good study. You know that TenZ loves that spot. You know that he likes to peek right above the smoke. That's a good peek out from Buzz. TenZ loves to be up on the box. Not even just as a meme, but that box is good for that. I mean, a lot of Omens love to be up on that box. Huge Nightfall. Rolling Thunder to push back out. This is a chance for flashback. All right, gets a kill. Zekin, you got to shut him down. Oh my gosh, how is that? How is the aftershock kill happening? Foxy, it's a 1v2. Fuck.
Can't isolate the fights properly. Sassy able to beam him down.
He thought they were going to be. He thought they weren't that far out. You can tell.
Flowing from the prior matches that he's played so far at Champs.
So DRX's idea there was that they were going to get into sight and use the plant to get that Rolling Thunder online, not give SEN as many cues as to where they were on the map and where they were going to be hitting with it. It's even a nice opener to catch TenZ on a high ground position that he normally plays. And yet, SEN are ahead of the game when it comes to ults. As soon as that Rolling Thunder came out, there's a Nightfall, there's their own Rolling Thunder in response, and they collapse, utilizing that pace that the Neon gives you to be able to scale up onto site really quickly.
Sentinels are one of the leading teams in terms of retake success. Pretty good at that regard, and I think the Neon...
yeah, tech pause.
See how Zelsis was helping Zekin get into the site. Playing off of all that high tempo, the fact that you can just get straight up in there. And headset off, you know what that means?
He just wanted to take a break, his ears were moving. Is that what that means? Sure. It looks like we've got a bit of a tech pause. Presumably some kind of audio problem?
Yeah.
All right. What on earth?
What is happening here?
He's trying to polish Sassy's head. Listen, as a fellow ball
That's
guy,
actually.
I know this bit.
Yeah.
He has the right read. That's actually what he's doing.
Sassy's looking like a fresh bowling ball today, though, isn't he? He's got shine out there.
He doesn't need it.
Bald recognizes bald. I've seen
yeah. I'll be there with you soon. Don't worry.
Yeah. We have an audience that a large amount of them are likely to go bald at some point in their life. You could laugh it up while you're out there.
But that's like, I bet it is about 10 years on from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is he talking about?
Yeah. Enjoy your hairlines while you have them. Don't need to zoom in on TenZ. I mean, that guy's got a great hairline. Yeah. We've got a little tech pause here, though, but I think this is going to be a particularly bad time for DRX. Yeah. I know, obviously, this hasn't been done intentionally, but DRX are just left in this spot to stew on the fact that they have now let 4 in a row go the way of SEN. And especially when you see like the way that Foxy9 was taking that 1v2, for example, and his aim is all over the place, to be honest.
Anticipating the players would be out, like the crosshair placement so slightly off.
Yeah, and just the aim itself and like the mouse control was a little...
Okay, so obviously the team can't talk about the game right now. You can just chit chat, but you can't talk strategy, etc.
Did you
guys hear that? Did that go through the mic? Holy.
You've got essentially the team being led by Mako, Buzz, being pushed into this position as the veterans who have to really pull up the morale.
That thunder was actually so loud.
For DRX, they got knocked down. That's wishful thinking.
I mean, we might see one.
We might see it.
We absolutely
been good for it. Listen, I didn't mean to slander it.
It's cool as well to see the interplay between the rookie players.
What's happening? What you miss? DRX, they're playing a little haphazard. They're not working mid, and Zekin's Neon is very good, and Zelsis has gotten 2 aftershock kills already. Oh, actually, no. The other one, he didn't actually get the kill. TenZ just spammed through the wall.
And it wasn't close. And so people like Foxy9, who weren't around at the start of the game...
Get out of here, Anders.
all that he's
Plenty of
been able
players
to
do,
achieve.
but yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, Foxy9 looked up.
Comcast Overwatch in the
Very
Valorant
wholesome
off-season.
interaction that always occurs.
Chat. I just want you to know, no hate, but Overwatch is literally the only major esport that I've like never properly watched a tier 1 match of. Okay, so DRX off of that on this eco.
Very passive. So he's
Well,
holding
they've got Stinger by, so it is a Stinger round, but just trying to pressure. Oh, hey, look, they're working mid with Stingers and not Phantoms. But hey, they're working it nonetheless. Some screen time for the DRX Classic. I'm cool with that. Oh, some market control. You love to see it. And Sentinels, they have tripwires to just hold on to backside, so they have retakes ready. There is a Hunter's Fury and Buzz, of course. That ult online. Okay, somebody break the trip. Oh, he has broken it. Okay, so they've gotten full control over this. What is Sen's plan here? You hear them. You hear them in market. Oh, that's a... Dude, Zekin's Neon is snappy. NT. I mean, Buzz, that one's a rough one to stay alive on. This is already a rough round. Foxy. Okay, he got one. Oh, hey, this time he switched to the Classic. That's improvement.
Inevitability, potentially. Shots rattled by flashback to no avail. Zekin's ace seals up. Rounder had just that slightest amount of danger.
Outrageous. A day of firsts here for Zekin. Picking up Neon for the first time in 2024, and also, weirdly enough, his first ace of 2024 as well. Which
is wild.
It's his first ace of 2024?
All season. He's only gotten better, actually, as the year's gone on.
Holy cow.
But he still hasn't had an ace this year. Pulls it out. In a round, actually, where there was some serious danger, too. Sentinel's macro setup had left B completely open. They had to get back in there. And it looked a bit tough. John doesn't have any armor. Now, of course, John's going to buy armor.
Okay, Zekin's got the operator. Not sure if DRX is going to read into it, especially with the Neon.
Through a bit preempted potentially, but it does push DRX away.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was intended. I have a feeling it wasn't, looking at how he was holding that crosshair, but...
He's got a sight set now, and he will be feeling that pressure. Needs to be defended as well from the market crunch.
Flashback's a little worried about a position. Did he catch sight? I don't think Flashback did. I think he's just waiting. Yeah, so I think basically what Flashback wanted to do was check if anybody's here, and if they're not there, waits for the main force. I don't know if he would have seen the way Zekin was holding that angle. That's actually incredible discipline from both sides. Very well timed on that entry from DRX. But also Sentinel getting a little lax about their market control.
Looks impeccable.
Thank you for the free op, though.
Last one.
I feel like that haunt wasn't. It got the job done, but I feel like that wasn't an intentional haunt. But yes, I was thinking the same thing. You're not wrong. Give him his first ace of the year, and
yeah, it's only the first rifle round.
What a storyline.
But they're now figuring out B main is being given to them mostly for free. Okay, this time Zekin.
Dude, this thunderstorm is insane. Forget the arena. I might have tech issues during the watch party today.
Very passive setups over towards the
I mean, it's rare. The internet usually doesn't go out that easily, but the power could.
Taking all of that space. So I agree with this decision.
Granted, our apartment seems to have pretty decent power structures.
Kaplan.
I mean, it was the thing about that opposition is that you needed absolute eyes on market, like 100% coverage, because otherwise Zekin is just stranded.
Starting to vacuum up free space around the map. So if Sentinels have the depth for it, this would be a perfect time to start adjusting things and playing a hard anchor in market. Maybe John plays in that kind of position. Or trying to play Zelsis, Tens, Zekin as a three-man stack to go and take B main control at the start with that one way and the stun and that kind of thing. You know, shift things up a little bit. Change that defensive setup, throw the DRX on.
Okay. So did they keep the op? I didn't catch that. I'm getting too emotional about this match to try to analyze from DRX's POV. They did not. Good. I was gonna get scared if they did. You imagine that the op's coming back, right? Because you're looking at their econ. I mean, it does require everyone to be on half armors, but you have to imagine now that it is a possibility. Although, it is a buy over. Interesting.
Stunning as well.
But therefore, I mean, DRX is recognizing it though, right? It's an early fault line just to push it back, get those eyes away. Now, Sentinels has changed the positions. DRX hasn't been falling for these necessarily. They've been clearing close, but the problem is that the slow contact, like, they can't pretend that they've sent in slow contact and try to keep Sentinels guessing. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to let them know if slow contact has come through the site. So I don't, and DRX is not a team that will use that kind of assumption for fake pressure, but it is just something for us to note as viewers.
It's absolutely looked like B has been the favored site for DRX to hit, and I don't.
Your hotel room was 80 degrees. Blast that AC.
Do they get a free cross on mid?
Man, it's amazing just how little DRX has actually been using mid, but therefore somewhat Sentinels as well. Oh no!
Well, blinded up from somewhere. That's Mako, right?
Mako's paranoia hits. I mean, I don't think it matters. As long as it didn't hit Zenkin, I don't think it would have mattered. But that's DRX is playing really sloppy in the teamwork today. Amazing C's. Oh, Buzz actually got through with it. Good trade though. Sentinels, on the other hand, is playing very well on the trades. Yeah, DRX is. They're playing so flustered, so flustered.
Just ran out, ran dry. Have to back away, keep these guns into the next. If they even can, because they're being hunted. Zelsis punished out.
Just gonna save, which is the call to make. So something that's happening here is I think DRX is definitely playing scared. I'll tell you that, right? They're waiting so long for initial contact other than B main, but B main has basically been given to them for free except for that one round in round 8 with the operator.
I think DRX should have adjusted that though. I think, you know, when your opponent's when you just won a round with a B split and then your opponent takes attack timeout, I think you should probably be adjusting as well. Right. And not just going back into a very similar B split strat.
I mean, I don't know if I technically mind them going for another split, but
it's a difficult area.
Like they're working with executions without macro. Oh look, they're taking macro control. Granted, very aggressive. Nobody has heard that yet. They don't know he's through. They suspect it, but flashback is going to be even greater bait at this point. Buzz dying is kind of rough. Okay. So flashback is here, but they don't expect Mako to be this far ahead. He needs more help. Saucy's through. Saucy's through. Thank you, Mako. Mako, you are a savior. Great timing on the swing. Dude, what is going on with the 1440p stream today, by the way? It has been jittering all over the place. Do you think it's the thunderstorm? It could be the thunderstorm.
Beautiful set round that DRX have pulled out there.
Yeah, very. I mean, this is... But here's the thing, is that, like... There's not many rounds left. There's only 3 rounds left. Two more rounds left. But yes, this time it's a rush up mid, right? You're playing with that tempo. But you have to recognize the reason this works is because neither team has been working mid. Now, granted, after this round, Sentinels will probably watch mid. So how do you use that against them?
And DRX love doing these double lurk strategies. They run those fairly often on bind as well on their attack side, though of course we're not going to see that.
It is a... Now, the thing is this is one of those, like, it's a crazy play, but it's one of those that every team has in their playbook, because it can really catch the opponents off guard if they haven't been watching mid, and you haven't been working it, right? So...
And DRX have not been really exploiting it too much, apart from the round we just watched. They've mostly been trying to hammer through B main, through A main. Haven't worked mid that much.
I mean, I would actually love for them to try to pressure A main just once aggressively. Don't have to rush to A, but the problem with that is that backup from mid to A is pretty fast, right? Because you can hold here and then you can provide util support. Sentinels actually thinks that it's gonna be some early A fight, so they were positioned for that, and then it's just an immediate rotate. The thing is they're probably gonna now they just watch mid. So this is the entire idea, because here's the thing, is that if the Rolling Thunder is used on the entry, great. If it's not, as long as they hold 2 angles, they're gonna have a good advantage on the retake. So Foxy has to be very careful about when he chooses this.
Hands flashes through as well, sent flying as well, but again it's that open sight, shock darts, at least removing one portion of it.
Oh my gosh, he can't find the second trip, so they're never gonna go back site.
Anyway, now retreating into that.
Alright, they do have the spam. Dude, what?
Would be a good time for Sentinel to
Stutter!
some kind of mid-push.
I'm like probably 3 minutes behind the mainstream at this point.
Against the Rolling Thunder, I feel like it could
Okay,
be some
early
work.
Nightfall used, just in case they're in this cubby. Obviously, they didn't pass there. I was wondering if Flashback was going to go for a lurk, but
Some full information. Rolling Thunder has to be used nice and early here. Paranoia
that's a
alongside
very
his
early one. Just trying to buy time. You guys are all
Let loose. Zekken trying to get explosive, trying to get electric. John QT trying to play himself in, but he's fallen asleep.
Dude, Mako. No, the one way. No, not like this.
They're all gone in the end, but time, as I said, got a little bit too slow from
Oh,
Sentinel
thank
at the
you.
beginning of that.
That Rolling Thunder
rough
saves
one
just
from
enough
Sen.
time.
They had the right ideas, but they didn't hit the gas pedal early
Yeah,
enough.
they took so long after re-clearing with the Nightfall. I'm surprised Sen actually took so long, because I don't know where else you would have crept into the site from.
John catches the lure.
I'm like so distracted by the stutter and the thunderstorm and my emotions
A little
and
too slow. And also, I think Foxy9 does a great job there of picking up Sassy. I think he was right about to get half on the spike. Even then, I think they didn't even have time to get half on it towards the end there.
Ball util was just too strong. DRX been walking in to the B site for most of the time, and now again trying to heavy conditional put these pulse.
okay. So this, oh, dude, that fast lane to go over the wall. Love to see it. It's, I mean, Sentinels has immediately re-cleared this. DRX, now they're going to hear the Prowler, so now they know. They're actually going to shoot it as well, just to keep them tied up here. I like that, instead of hiding away from it. Because if you hide away from it, you have to re-clear it to find value on that. But now you say, okay, we're giving them A main, but we're going to keep them in A main. So it's not bad. It's risky, because Sentinels, ever since that round 10, they're going to be looking at mid very aggressively. They know that Flashback's been going for these lurks now. He's trying to get ahead of it, basically. Instead of pretending that it's a late wraparound, he's going to be ahead of it and try to catch whoever's rotating in, but we'll see. Amazing shot from Buzz. Eyes on mid, though. That's the important part right now. Cam has been broken. Flashback has to find a timing here. He's trying to find a timing swing. Not going to see it. He's just going to... Oh my... Okay, so he hears him rotating over because the door is closed, and that was closed by Sentinel. So Flashback very early. This is him trying to adjust from the previous round. Oh, okay. Okay, dodges the fault line. Not bad. Flashback. Got to start coming in. Huge Rolling Thunder. Buzz isn't hit with it, though. Buzz is not hit with it. They're diffusing. They're diffusing. Oh my gosh.
That's a 4-piece and a flawless finish to the half. DRX drag it back up to 6.
6-6. Considering how it started, not bad. Oh, the Gen G spray.
3 in a row, 4 out of the last 5. Making those adjustments.
The adjustments, they came in later than I thought they would, but they came in just in time.
Is amazing from one of our best players so far in Champs.
It's been electric between both of these teams as well, and I'm
Dude,
sure
this thunder is loud. It's so loud. We haven't had a thunderstorm this bad in a while this summer. Even during the monsoon season, it wasn't this, like the thunder wasn't this bad. There was one day where there were like literally just lightning strikes all over Seoul, but... Okay. Again, we haven't seen his Neon, so we'll see what the tempo Sentinels plays with, but we have seen the breaches, right? We've seen John QT. We've seen the fades. So hopefully DRX is able to glean some of the similar patterns. The Neon is going to allow them, if they take A, I imagine they will continue to push out like they always do on almost every map. B, they probably don't. B, they probably still play post-plant. Maybe they plant Zekken somewhere backside, somewhere on the site. You know, just buy time with the Neon and the movement, but... How do you even push A site? I mean, you have to use util, or you basically put pressure on B and go for slow contact on main, right? I mean... The thing is, it's very hard to dig A site alone, obviously, because right off the bat on A main, you have 2 angles you have to cover. So you could use util, or you could really just play very, very slow contact, one at a time. You've never planted A in your ranch games, really? It's actually easier to go through A on ranch, because you can just, like, 5-man bull rush it. You know, you just throw a flash over the wall, and then you've already taken A main, and then we all know in ranked, you can just kind of overpower it up to a certain... higher ranking, so
Looking at a more even half here, 6-6, and yeah, I mean these teams going blow for blow as well. Lovely adjustments by DRX, I think, as well, spotting out some of the weaknesses.
I highly, if you're in bronze, I don't know what it's like in bronze, but I highly recommend trying just rushing A couple of rounds with the full team if you can convince your teammates.
The players that I'm watching heading into the next half, it's that big duelist matchup, Zekken and Buzz. We just saw in the final round Buzz hit an unbelievable entry.
Oh yeah.
And he's been fantastic. The last month from Buzz has been unbelievable in terms of his form.
Okay, so
Zekken continues to be a top 5 duelist in the world, in my opinion.
They're going to go for the paper Rex stack right off the pistol. Oh, I love it, Buzz. You love to see it.
With a triple stack, looking to try to control mid, broken by that one smoke that 10s places.
Dude, I still remember when King first showed us in Challengers Korea, at least. He was one of the first ones to show us how to shoot through the Killjoy turret legs on a SEN, on B site. I was like, what the hell, man? It's cheating.
Of which they have arrived, and so this might just be.
All right, you know what's coming. Oh no, you're both looking away. Oh my gosh, the slide in, that's good. The slide in is good. Bait needs to win that though. Oh, he got saucy. That's why he was distracted.
He's definitely dealing out, and dishing back that action straight at them. John Tito shuts him down. Gliding round, flashback.
He's been spotted.
Dodged a flash in time, and he has got a lot
Oh, he sees the arm. I mean, he wanted to take the fight.
SEN respond with a pistol of their own, bringing them into the lead again in this opening map. Really nicely played one too.
I don't know what I'm saying. Hold on. I'm just saying, because bronze can get very different. That's what I'm saying. I've been in bronze in other games, and I know what that feels like. I'm just saying things can get very unconventional in bronze. They're still unconventional, pretty much until...
Find it in the moment.
Probably until Radiant.
Pistols like that could end up making all the difference.
They indeed could. All classics though for DRX. So we're gonna save up. Other than Foxy, he's gonna buy all the util. So if they do get early kills, you have actually great tools to push out.
That's why he's trying to break it in this moment as well. But we didn't really see John go for that. John was sitting really passive, so he didn't get caught by early round util. Flashbacks.
Yeah, that's a huge cam.
We'll have to see if SEN can punish it once
But they've already emptied it. They just wanted the orb, as Sentinels does. Did DRX take the orb on this round?
Might be the mark that they were looking for. Still, he's got that rifle well trained, and the rest of his team in position, taking that space.
The all-in floodouts have not been very good from DRX on this map. I'm just gonna say that. Oh my gosh, Sentinel's got both orbs. You can't let these guys get their orbs on attack, man.
Yeah, all of these weapons carried forward. TenZ is going to be able to drop that Vandal and buy another one.
To be the fortunate part is I would say there's only really 2 ults that are really gonna change the entirety of a round. Just the breach and the fade. I mean, the Zekken's Neon ult can, just out of pure firepower, but it's not gonna like... Look, I mean, it can be a bit of a, okay, well, Zekken go kill moment, but it shouldn't change the entire playbook for a couple of rounds, but...
That much, I mean, every single one available, they just grasp. Now, see if they can do it again against DRX.
Okay, early cam used here.
Trying to run an early play there to punish flashback.
Early tripwire as well. The Aftershock's going to break that one. The timing of that is perfect from Zekken to enter. Holy. Like, literally his foot comes out the door as that first blast of the Aftershock goes through.
Its way out to push back some of these players as well, but time has been bought. Plan only just going down. Here's a fault line. Might be that punish in sight, not quite. In through the back though, not anticipating it. Zekken! Beaming them all down. Just with that Spectre in hand still, it's evened out.
No, you can't let that happen. Oh my gosh.
Pixel angle. Full confidence in his own aim.
Oh, the paranoid has been dodged. Okay, but you get the positions. You know where he's at. Okay. Nice stick. I love that flashback doesn't overrush it either.
Stays alive at least towards the end, but
hold on.
DRX essentially stealing it.
That's our buy though.
Into a post plant there. It was winnable, but they've also done really solid damage to DRX. DRX actually might even have to take an eco after
this. It's not looking great.
Zekken got more value than you would expect. And yes, the trade outs were good. I like the idea of throwing a trip, actually.
I've thought about reaching out to him some of these, but for now, because for the Pacific games, we're focused on the DRX POV. I haven't actually tried. Not sure if you'd accept a lowly streamer like me. I know Sliggy doesn't. I know Sliggy wouldn't have like bias, but he might already have things scheduled. I've also just like never done a Coco stream. Okay, good. Stick to it, Foxy. You gotta not lose that confidence. If you're gonna stick to a fight, you gotta stick to a fight. Hey, backside control is there? Aftershock? Oh, it's actually gonna stop the plant. Bane was out of position there. I can't believe he wins that fight.
Creeping, hopping over, watched by Bane, can't win it. Damage done, the pre-fire onto the corner, immaculate. In the motion, 2v2.
Stop.
Bullets still remaining.
Dude, Sen is playing really well.
Opting to back away and go for the reload.
Which also means DRX is playing really well because it's a close match, but like...
Does have the spike. The Haunt maybe went a little bit deeper. I think they would have gone for this one, but they got to watch every angle just in case. Flashback's lurking.
No, just group up. Mako's low. He's got a Guardian. This is rough.
Real uncomfortable post plant for Sentinels. It all comes down to these first shots.
Oh, okay, you know you got the dink, but it was through the wall.
No kills yet, but spraying them down. Skewered in place. That's Sassy. Less than a moment.
I don't think he even realized that second player was there. You saw him flick his crosshair away and then double take. Wait, did I just win the round?
Yeah.
All of that prior damage done. The Guardians were actually still hitting though for DRX.
Dude, the plot armor is too thick on these guys.
In that round. Repositioned towards the end from tens.
How come DRX doesn't get plot armor in Soul?
I mean, listen. Better lucky than good.
Guys, we need to dumb this down.
Okay. Oh, they muted the strat. Wow.
Prep for something dumb coming up.
Smart.
No, I think
it's a good way to do it, right? Just to let us know that they were talking strats and you don't know what exactly it was. Yeah, I mean, I think Sentinels is just saying play it simple, right? Don't try to overthink this. We're overthinking it, right? They're overthinking about DRX's positions, which is true. Because DRX has not been playing a very, very complex defense so far yet.
And now following up in round 16.
It's a good call from Zelsis. I mean, I don't know exactly what they said afterwards, but...
Making sure that they can use some of that util. Here's an overdrive offloaded again, but a rolling thunder used in kind. There was no tap there onto the spike to force it out early.
Okay, you do have a timing here, but you have to push. What is that? You gotta start sticking it, but oh, you gotta have bodies in front, man. You had to push through.
But just Bane left alive despite the heroics, and not enough to do it. Be able to get some damage, and it is nice with a 4-piece to finish. But still another round accrued, added to the tally for Sen.
10-7.
I could not tell you how Bane's managed to get a 4K in that round. Where did the shock dart come from?
I have no idea.
How was there so much follow-up? A double kill from that.
Surely.
But as you say, fairly irrelevant when all things are down.
Do we have a timeout left? Did we just use it? Am I losing my mind?
So just a huge amount of damage from Buzz.
I swear, this is like the opening match of Gen G versus Sentinels. I've just lost the plot. I'm like way too invested. We already used it, right? We used it in the second half. Gosh darn it. His haunts have been a little shaky. That's the second one that I think has missed its mark, but you hear the Prowler coming in. Flashback is holding close. He wants a kill on the kill trips.
At least they did. It's now just down to Buzz. He's the one who's got to hold this one down. Might be calling
but there's no one to trade for Buzz. Why? Buzz is so far out. There's no exit for him. There's just no follow-up because Bane was droning. What's going on? Oh, he wasn't droning, but he was peeking mid. I thought he was droning. It looked like he was droning. Or else why wasn't he watching? Because you've got a cam here. Great shot, though.
Taking a peek, swinging wide.
Oh, well, okay, we'll count that as the trade. All right, the trade has come through. It was just delayed by 15 seconds. Dude, Sentinels is getting... Second and Saucy are getting away with so many double sprays, man. In positions that DRX should be getting the trade. Like, DRX is in a position to get it, but their line of sight is just...
Control the chaos. You heard it from Zelsis earlier on. trying to keep things simple.
Sentinels is playing really well. I'm not trying to take credit away from them, but DRX is definitely a bit messy on their double swings, on their floodouts, all of that. Their sight lines are not as clean as they should be. Definitely not as clean as it was last week. Definitely not as clean as Gen G's usually is. I hate that he said it in the exact same tone.
Flourishing percent.
Another eco for DRX. Their economy's been a massive problem for them on the defense side.
In shambles.
Ever since,
I mean,
kind of snowballing off
you
that
do
roll,
have two ults.
DRX did manage to actually prevent SEN from.
I mean, it's also credit to Zekken, right? I mean, that's just how quick his spray transfer was as well. But it's just like that swing out of the smoke was entirely intended for Mako to get that kill. I think Mako might have not been fully out of the smoke yet. I think that might have been part of the problem on that one. But I feel like DRX is just playing. They're playing a bit too chaotic for themselves, if that makes sense. Okay, they're gonna stay alive. 10's good cover for Sentinels. I love the initial immediate push out though. You have a Phantom, you have a Bulldog, you've taken a lot of damage, but you do have both the ultimates. A retake is doable. John QT's position is so crucial. Okay. They're actually just gonna try to push through. Oh my gosh, how does Buzz win that one? Oh my gosh, what is going on? Oh my gosh, he's gonna ult. Oh my gosh, he's gonna ult. He has the ult. Everybody group up and kill the ult as fast as possible. Kill it.
Beautiful by DRX.
What a sick play. God, we've been waiting for one of those for so long. 3 bodies surrounding the spike. 10's can do naught, but watch this round tick
I love that since the change to the ult, you can technically pick it up, but
that's sick.
everyone is still so fast on just killing the ultimate immediately.
In terms of the decision making.
And it's all very
Well, he misses it because there's 3 people on it. That's the whole point of stacking 3 people, is that your body basically gets shifted away. And in the old days, if you had 3 people, you could almost always guarantee that they can't pick up the spike because you had to basically land on it and then cancel your ult. Now you can actually interact when you're in your ultimate and channeling. So you can press F. You can look at it and press F. But if you kill it before he's able to do that, and now he gets pushed away, so he has to look further. So overall, well set up. Uh-oh, you're spotted. But the flash! Oh my gosh. Oh, Bane, this is so risky. Oh, Bane, this is so risky. Oh my gosh, how are you Buzz. I mean, it was actually, I don't blame Buzz, technically, given how the round was playing out. Oh my gosh, Bane! Bane's fragging this game.
In that 1v2, he knows the drone is coming forward. 2B's forward, flashback.
The coverage. So this was actually very intentional from DRX. He drones knowing that that's going to be, because normally that's a bad place to drone, because you could just get swiveled on, and it's an Omen, but it's a 2v1, and he drones knowing that flashback has got his back.
Honestly, the fast play. It worked. It's a cool strat. The Horn got big value. Zekken's entry was marvelous too.
I mean, it was a good call from Sen, I think, actually. I would have been scared for that rush. In my head, I was a little scared for a rush. Oh, yeah. They're copying Benji. They're copying Zelsis. Let's go. The vibes are back. We are so back.
I think just slowing the pace down a little here would be beneficial, honestly, for both teams.
A lot of teams used last year. Finally, the entire world caught up on smoke spamming, and I feel like a lot of teams have kind of forgotten about it.
Being quite smart in their play, it's high tempo, but they were taking pauses at the right time and making sure it was all synced up.
But so while I'm not surprised Sentinels went for a rush play, I think probably something that Sentinels is discussing right now is like, listen, we have the lead, we've been doing well, we don't need to try to one-up them, right? Just because of a round or two. So you probably slow it down, work the map a little bit. What's the ult orbs look like? You're definitely going for ult orbs. Right, you get the easy one for Zelsis, and then you can already stack up another one just in case, either to finish off the map or get another chance at map point. So that's something that DRX should be focusing on, is the orbs. Now, you can't defend both easily on Sunset. You basically have to pick and choose and prioritize. In which case, the A site one is easier for the defenders to protect.
Stage nicely for Sentinels to get a lot of these rounds.
But they're looking to. They're just gonna. They're just gonna try to push them away. Good shock dart. Yep, decent damage, takes away the trap as well. No early pressure on B, so they're afraid of mid being worked. So Buzz is gonna watch that. Or if you give it up, you give it up. If it's a Rolling Thunder, you give up the site. DRX has kind of accepted that fate.
Perhaps hoping that they can get that post plant ult orb up. Just by Zelsis driving.
Okay, now you close the door.
It's slow from SEN. I mean, I think this is absolutely what Kaplan's told them to do, is slow.
Yeah, see? Told you they were going to work the map. And DRX just has... You just got to keep an eye on mid. Right? So Bane's playing safe here to just be able to back out. You back away. If they keep go to A site, you basically have to double up and push out one way or the other. The other thing is if they are coming to A site, you can fault line this and Bane can swing back out. So it's not a bad position overall from DRX. This fake, don't bite on it. You just have to wait until full information. All right. The door is being broken. No one's getting hit by any of the utility. Spy cam gets all the information. Good counter recon to help you get inside. Good relay bolts from both sides, but flashback. Gonna make sure that they hold those angles. This is a good hold of flawless. Let's freaking go!
That's 5 alive, a flawless finish, and it brings DRX up to 10. Now one step away from
good read after the timeout. I love that they don't bite on any of the fakes. They absolutely had the read that they were going to work the map, that you were okay. If they were coming in, you had both Breach and Omen. You had ways to delay on a site.
I think you're dead right, Brad. I don't think that SEN had put enough
Rob.
to drag the rotates and make that winnable for them.
He's got great reactions, both winning and losing. And now they're down to an eco because they want to make sure they can get the full buys here on that next round. Try to get back to the map point. DRX looking fine and dandy here, stringing together those rounds. And once again, they don't even care if it's a rush in. You've got kill trips, right? Not easily broken with the aftershock. You got Buzz to swivel around. You still got the cam to watch if anyone's trying to come in on mid, so Buzz knows if he needs to leave market or not. And this time it's different, right? This time it's going to be the Breach that's watching mid. Fault line. Paranoia is used. Oh, oh my gosh, the stinger. Ooh. Okay, good positioning from Mako. Such good positioning from Mako. You knew once you were in elbow that the Rolling Thunder had to come, so you just spread the angles. Doesn't matter if you're stunned up. I'm actually surprised he still got that kill so fast. I thought basically Foxy was dead and Mako would just get the trade.
The round's chalked. DRX have maintained control. And the 4 players that
I don't know what Zelsis. Never count out the Vibe Merchant. Oh, never mind.
That shot from Mako was outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, him making sure that they're not bunched up is huge.
And you might think that's a huge investment for Sentinels. Clearly a mistake based on them losing the round. But they had an opportunity here to clean up Mako.
Dude, how does he...
Until that
I mean, the crosshair placement was just good to begin with. He was aimed for them, like walking out at the bottom of the steps.
I mean,
that's incredible.
I guess it's just the cosmetic stuff.
Just the cosmetic stuff.
It's got to be a tilter. Because SEN invested a big ult into that. They'd like it back at 11-11.
This round is so damn important.
And now Buzz playing a bit more aggressively on B.
At this point,
they hear the cam, so they know that SEN is working B this time. Do we see any aggressive reclears? We don't, but they're going to put Mako in a position where he can escape a bit easier, trying to hold off mid. Flashback. Oh, man. SEN were grouped up. They were scared. They didn't know where the trips were, and they were caught up. SEN basically made the same mistake DRX did a couple times in the attack, where you got into the site, but you didn't have good position. You didn't really have an idea of where to put your line of sight because you hadn't cleared the trips yet, and you didn't have any control elsewhere. It's the same mistakes that DRX made. Huge recovery from DRX.
DRX now just need to take that one more step.
DRX's defense on B is so much more effective than what we saw from Sentinels when the sides were swapped.
Agree.
The cages, the trips, all finding value, allowing them to play.
I mean, Flashback just has more kill trips, quite frankly. Sentinels kind of played in a way of, hey, I just want to know that we can keep this area control. Whereas Flashback is like, I'm getting kills. Like, I'm a fragging Sentinel.
And they're never taking back sight. Can Sen pull out something to get us into OT here?
I think it's just entirely different ideas of how to play the Cypher around B site.
No kills.
It seems, I think it's coming off as more effective for sure, just because obviously it's leading to frags, but I don't know. I think both have used timeouts.
There are many benefits to being rich.
Oh, of course. We won't get into it. Smoked up though, through the face. Buzz is still going to try and be rooted to that spot here, mid-exploration. Needs to be
Well, okay, hold on. This is not a safe position. Foxy, oh my god, no. Oh, Mako's watching it. I was like, nobody's watching mid. That's crazy.
But Sentinels have to be brave enough to just
step
over it. Instead, it's Foxy9 tearing them to pieces. Drops his idol. Zekken was up next, on through the chopping block, and he might have just done enough. 3 left to stand for Sentinels to pull it back from the brink. There's 40 seconds left in the round, which is some time to work with, but again, they don't have the players.
You're spread out because you have a numbers advantage. If things get dicey, you just chill. Granted, it's not the greatest place to chill on the B side. Your fingers weren't ready yet, man. We just chill if we don't have the numbers advantage, man. What are we doing, man?
They're doing it and pulling it back.
DRX cannot afford to lose this situation. This was a 5v3. It's crumbled away from them. Foxy9, the player who managed to get those 2 openers, is now asked alongside Mako the veteran to do the most. How do you crack into this B main post?
Aftershock still for Zelsis too. Time pressure is mounting. You can already hear it. The spike is ticking. Foxy9, straight flash, but he needs to get half, and he needs it now.
The stick.
That's the only wink on Foxy9. He's got it at least, but typed up, stuck up. Mako, spam and sprayed. He will not survive. Overtime. It's almost preordained, man.
Switching sides.
That is the miracle that Sentinels were looking for. 5 rounds lost in a row. A 3v5, losing your 2 hottest fraggers.
30 seconds left.
And John has recovered it off the back of Sassy's
Sick
support.
shot from John, though. Holy.
John pushing into backside. And they've somehow pushed things to overtime.
Insanity.
Sen now get a chance on their defense. The sides
People smoke main because it puts the pressure that you could also be coming through. It also, you know, could potentially make the angles a bit harder. It's not that hard at the end of the day, but it gives you the extra option that I might push through the smoke to pressure you guys, right? And it, you know, you don't know. Maybe it was just a fake and both people are going to push and then try to run back. It just fakes a lot more information. Because here's the thing, the sprays are going to happen no matter what. It's not a hard spray to hit. No, I understand why Buzz did it. My concern is what they should have made it very clear that Buzz was going to be the only guy doing that. You know what I mean? You should have kept the 4v3, man. Anyway, it's a done round. Great wraparound. Buzz trying to buy time. That's fine because that gets him onto the site, gives them time to focus onto the site. Again, I'm okay with it. Buzz, I mean, a bit of an overheat perhaps, sure, but it's a great adjustment. Once he got caught, like there was no way for him to get any value anyway. So he basically leaves, allowing for his teammates to get this kill. You could argue he should have just rotated back as soon as the kill happened, but I'm fine with it.
DRX are fully aware. Just have to play their lives. The util is avoided. The TP by Mako is cheeky if he opts in.
He's going to fake that he's TP'd over.
No full committal. They're scared of the mid flank. Fault line's there.
Okay, big. And now you know Flashback has time. Whoa, Flashback. Come on.
The mid lurk. It's what they're anticipating, expecting. They know that nobody's on it. DRX should have done this. Into that 1v1. Circle shrinking. Sassy forced to stick. And Flashback.
Nope, he knew that he had time. Even if he dies there, no time. That's why he peeks out before the half finishes, like well before it.
Another map point. They found that hole again. Up through mid.
Did they make Cypher trip longer? It's been a while, but yes. Yes, it has been a little while, but yes.
He either needs more support or a little more awareness of how DRX are
Okay, I'm going to calm down.
pressure towards market and
Again, this is why I could never coach a team.
And a beautiful identification of the
I
whole
totally understand why Alex mauled all the time before he calls the timeout. You have to let it out somehow.
to have an opportunity to win the map.
Although I do think it's probably just more beneficial to cool off, but also it's paper Rex, so I can't blame him.
But it took a miracle from Sentinels to put one on the board on their attack side.
Flash clearing.
Zolcis looking for the Rolling Thunder. You should have heard that from Flashback's position. But this is the same positions that they held on the last round of the map, right? Of the regular rounds. You have Mako a bit more aggressive. You've got Foxy with the backup, so Mako can exit. You got a fault line potentially coming through. A main. And now they want to buy extra time. Mako, they want to peek a bit more aggressively.
Sound made.
So the fault line already comes out. Sentinels now have a timing, and DRX should know this. Sentinels have 40 seconds to strike the site without much delay. There is still a paranoia from Mako. He doesn't have smokes left. The counter recon's a bit early. Oh my gosh, they are farming orbs. And then they're going to go B, and they're going to plant it. They're going to have the Rolling Thunder.
He didn't give up B main control this entire time.
And then John QT's going to wrap around from A.
I don't think fully confirmed that.
I mean, Flashback's got to get the kill trips of his life here, or kills off his kill trips of his life here. Sentinels thinks they're spotted. Oh no! Oh no! Sentinels overcooked this. They were scared that they were spotted. They were scared that they were spotted. Oh my gosh! Please, DRX, just line of sight. Just good line of sight. Good line of sight. Just time. Please, please, just time.
He holds it down. Foxy 9 barely alive in the double digits, but no more, no long. That's 13-13. And talk about cutting it close.
I gotta chill out. How do you chill out? How does one chill out? Can someone Google how to chill? Holy crap!
Are nothing short of miraculous. They shouldn't be getting them across the line. When you're running in with only 15 seconds left.
But you know what the worst part is as I was freaking out, I could literally see Foxy freaking out the same amount.
I don't know. The SEN rifling mostly, being able to come out on top, the trading was decent.
I feel like at that point, if you're committed, if Mako's committed to swinging, when he swings, you should have just swung out with the shorty. I feel like you had to, or at least jump peeked. I don't know. I mean, that's hindsight 2020 though. But therefore, I'm saying that's why I think you could feel that Foxy was freaking out the same amount. Okay, making it seem like you're going all the way to CT again. It's a bold move. They're doing this. Oh my gosh, I thought that was a call out. I mean, it was, but
Barrel betrayed by it. Buzz didn't stand a chance. Gives Tens that perfect time with a reposition out wide. Foxy 9 cannot adjust it in time. Down to that 1v2. Heads appearing. Flashback has chances and opportunities, but the C's no connection. Just out of range. Doubled up. Send the rifling surely.
Oh my gosh! Oh my!
ADS Sassy barely there in time.
Oh man!
A big one for Sassy to win.
NA just has unfair main character energy. The plot armor.
What a time!
It's too much.
He's been struggling towards the bottom of the scoreboard this map after an amazing champions. He's managed to put his team up to their first map point. DRX are going to take a tag timeout. That was a very different defense setup.
Oh, it's so good from Flashback too. I actually was thinking on my head, Flashback can win these 1v2s. It looks impossible, but Flashback's so good at identifying just the smallest of angles.
Basically the whole map. And then Tens is also in B main. Swap the Cypher onto the other side. A massive difference in the defensive setup that caught DRX completely off guard.
DRX forced to call a timeout at this point though when it comes to OT as well, all that prior conditioning. I mean, you can tell DRX are working off the prior information during the regular time.
I mean, I don't know. I think there, after he gets the kill, just looking, for an offbeat second kill right away is fine. I think that's a 50-50 choice to use Cyber Cage or not. Cyber caging earlier than that would have been troll, I think, unless you still had time to wrap all the way around.
In these big rounds late on,
yeah, cool off, Foxy. There you go.
Who've been grasping those opportunities. I've been talking about the rounds as miracles, but they're also scrappy, chaotic moments where the players with more experience are coming out on top. And if you want to frame it that way, you're absolutely welcome to, because I think...
All right, DRX. Yeah, what would I have talked about during the timeout? I would have just said chill out. All right, moving on. Okay, they're gonna go. They're gonna look to go aggressive on B. I think they might just send it on B. You got kill trips on A. Yeah, I think they might just send it.
Another round.
Are you gonna pinch down here then though with the Omen here? Yep, they are sending it.
For the first time in this map, Sen have
Completely. The recon comes out, the smoke does as well. So Sentinels, they're gonna look to just jump in. They hear the trip. They should be looking to break it. Oh my gosh, he actually tagged him.
Trips are going to be broken, but plan at least down and now.
You did get one kill and it's against the breach, so that's good. Oh look, on A side, second thinking about pushing out. Wow, where have we seen that before? A lot of the util's already been drawn out. There's no actual delay util anymore, right? You just have to isolate the angles. You just have...
Rips them apart now and through, and Mako just cannot withstand this. Flashback, and Bane dropped down low, decayed into the single digits.
Did he actually get a dink with that shorty?
It's a 15-13 finish to the opening map of this series. That experience shining through.
What performance, what tenacity from Sen. Winning the majority of those really close, scrappy rounds towards the end. Bodes well for them in the rest of this match.
I mean, Sen had the better mental in overtime. That's really what it comes down to, IMO. Sen had the better mental, like 100%. There were more moments in all of those OT rounds, even when DRX was winning, that you could tell that the DRX players were panicking a bit. Whoa, 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 Div. Calm down. Calm down on the toxicity. I mean... Listen, I honestly, though, I hope they can take this and say... Because here's the thing. Quite frankly, the beginning of this map... Like, DRX should have lost this map harder. I'm just saying. So, I mean, that sounds like cope, but I think it should give you enough to just be like, all right, listen, okay, we came in weak, whether it was because of not enough prep, whatever it is. I mean, probably also just not accounting for the Neon. You know, I think they were expecting to play, you know, against the Sunset potentially, but... Since they banned out the Lotus, I think if you're banning out the Lotus, you have to expect the Sunset's going to happen. I guess you probably didn't expect the Neon, which is totally fair because we just haven't seen it at all. And also, we've seen them going back to their old comps, not new comps, right? So it's so, you know. And then I think you just have to tell yourselves, all right, we still were able to, you know, try to get back into it. Yeah, we panicked, but that's fine. You know, we just have to calm down going into the next map. Is it cope? A little bit, but also you just have to play another game. So now is not the time to sit down and get all bent up over it, right? All right, let's get some points going though, shall we? Next map is Haven. I am a little concerned about this Haven. Yeah, honestly, though, the Icebox, I think, it's a bit of a toss-up, but I think DRX can be slightly favorable. Whoa, what's going on with that Twitter UI? I guess something on their end must be lagging out. I thought it was my monitor. I was like, why is that tilted? I mean, they can still do it. It's a mental thing for sure at this point.
Coach, congratulations on a hard-fought victory. Question on everyone's mind is, because I remember asking Zekin at the beginning of Americas, will we see you play Neon? He gave me a little coy answer, and he finally did today. Was this a pocket strategy you guys have held on throughout the season, or was this something you're like, screw it, let's just bust it out now?
It's definitely something we worked on. I mean, we bounce around with different things, and we have a few options, and we're feeling pretty comfortable this tournament, just surprising people and jumping for it, and he was confident whipping out the Neon. So, yeah, he did a really good job with it.
Yeah, no, it definitely paid off. How's your blood pressure right now after that OT?
Really high, but I try not to show the players because I need them to stay calm.
I respect that, brother. I respect that. Back to y'all.
Honest answer from Kaplan.
Fantastic insight there from Coach Kaplan. And let's take a look at how Zekin dominated on that map, on that Neon in the Verizon high-speed moment. He talked about how they prepared to surprise people.
Are you going to watch Trace versus EDG as well? It depends on whether this thunderstorm continues or not. Because if it's still thunderstorming by the end of this match, I think I'm going to go pick up my wife after her work when she gets out of work. Because it was thunderstorming really hard earlier. But if it stops, then maybe. Because she knows that I am co-streaming today, but
I think that sometimes there were some mistakes.
I don't know. I don't think she even took an umbrella today, which I mean, that's on both of us.
Around it, I think that the plan was also very, very different. But we can see it in the stats right now. Zekin had a very, very good even though the
289.
Like this,
Holy.
did diff Zekin. They ended up 8-3, so we're gonna give him that. He did deal with him.
Absolutely. And on the defensive side, I think you saw a lot of the value.
They're seeing Mako at the bottom when he doesn't even want to IGL before it was clutching a frag-in. Same with Stacks before. There are really no Korean IGLs. I mean,
it's especially important because SEN was playing a lot of these rounds where they had won.
There's not that many. There are upcoming ones, but IGLing is just, it's hard. It's hard to just discover. Like, some people are born to do it, but some people are like, but other than that, you have to really grow your own IGLs, and that takes a long time. The other thing would be
a lot more in the game, and especially going into the next one, that is something that we need to happen from the beginning. He got to an overtime.
Oh, literally the last bullet. It wasn't even a clat all the way through on the last bullet.
Things are not going the way. The round is not looking like yours.
One's in the military, one's in challenges.
I think the biggest talking point was about how good the team.
That's so funny. One IGL, there are Korean IGLs, but one's in the military, one's in challenges, and a few of them are coaches.
The right rotations, the right call in the mid round.
Oh, it hurts because it's true. But I would say Mako, like, he may not have wanted it, but he did agree to it, and he's doing. I mean, he was doing better by the end, right? It's still stressful, but it's going to be stressful no matter who does it. I'm not saying therefore he deserves it. I'm just saying, like, listen, just give him another map. We'll see. We'll see how he comes through.
Honestly, I would take it one step further than just pushing them. If I were DRX, I would be distraught to throw away that 5v3 lead, Kakuka, when they could have just ended that map and gone 1-0 up into Haven.
I think that anybody that watches back that round, and we were commenting it on the green room, it really looked like they thought it was done. It's a 3v5, it's a 5v3. We have this is over. We can go into the next one. We managed to bring it back.
I don't know. I was just trusting our analyst desk.
Thinking about the answer to that specific situation.
Let me check.
That took him that far. We knew that this was going to be a very close encounter, so I'm happy that we got.
Yeah, it was 8-3 for Zekin. You're right. So Zekin basically diffed Buzz giga hard. Foxy though, mega diffed Zekin 7-2.
Coach, hard-fought game there in map 1. What are you telling the boys, and how confident are you going in to map 2? But what are you telling the players to help them with their confidence going into that map?
센티넬과 접전을 펼쳤던 1세트였는데요. 분명히 DRX도 강점을 많이 보여준 것 같고 좋은 경기력을 보여준 것 같습니다. 일단 선수들이 헤이븐을 앞두고 자신감은 어느 정도인지도 궁금하고, 그리고 좀 감독님께서는 선수들에게 어떤 얘기를 해주셨는지 궁금합니다.
일단 선셋 같은 경우는 저희가 경기를 치르면서 조금 더 침착했더라면 이길 수 있는 경기였다고 생각을 하고, 당연히 첫 세트가 끝나고 나서는
100%.
선수에게 조금 더 침착하자는 얘기를 했었고요.
100%.
저희가 준비하는 과정에서 충분히 자신 있을 정도로 올려놨기 때문에 무조건 이길 수 있다고 보고 있습니다.
Well, in terms of sunset, I feel like it could have gone our way if we stayed calm. So I told the players to stay more calm and collected, relax a little bit, take it slow. And when it comes to Haven, it's a map that we've heavily prepped, and we're really, really confident in how strong it is. So it's going to be a good map for us for sure.
All right, well, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Coach. Back to you guys.
Yeah, I will say one thing. I've never heard Termi be this confident and this aggressive in interviews until this year. Right? Not only does he fire shots, but like saying like we're definitely gonna win. Like he used to always kind of play it safe. I mean, he would always sound confident, but
and they got crushed by Crew, and I think it was all about the mental and the rookie players showing up on this stage
he's been kind of unleashed.
But now they only have one map to stay alive there.
Yeah, and this is their map pick. It's not that it has crushed their confidence. Definitely.
I like Termi in the jersey. He looks relaxed.
Ready on that map because it was a 13-2. You wanted to surprise. We were thinking, why is the Abyss?
Yeah, I mean Zeta's retired in the sense that he's done for the time being, and also he's done for 2 years. But oh my gosh, the neon again.
Doubling down on the neon.
Double neon. I like this, but this is still a risky pick, right? DRX, they even banned
But
it the
what
last time,
okay, I'm just gonna say this. What a Chad play from Sentinels. Everyone, by the way, I didn't buy into this because I buy more into if you're scared of anyone and trying to nerf them because of the picks. I think you should be more scared of Saucy Silva. But people in my comments, people before this, everyone was always saying, well, Zekken's Jet's pretty weak. You put him onto the Jet maps, it's not as strong as his Raze. And Sentinels are just like, oh, Jet maps, you say? Be a shame if we just didn't play the Jet on Jet maps.
If they are able to replicate that, this could be a 2-0 for Sentinel.
Sen crushed Gen G to even make it to the playoffs, and now throwing a spanner in the works in map 2 against DRX here, they could take down both Korean squads.
I think the Neon on Haven does less damage on its own than on Sunset, though. I will say that.
It looks like it's going to be a series that I think delivers on multiple.
But his Neon looks good. His Neon looks actually pretty good, both individually and team play wise.
Considering both of these teams haven't been confident in the past, but
so I'll give him that credit for sure. No wonder he felt confident pulling it out today on an important match. It's also good timing for them to pull it out because now anyone else they face in the future, whether it's upper or lower bracket, has to take into account the new comps, and then Sentinels could always go back to older comps if they think it just works better against a certain opponent. There is a Korean broadcast.
So now we get this clash.
All right, DRX, great read on the opening so far.
The same stuff that Kesnit did.
Counter with the fault line as well. Attempted to punish that one with the
okay, but this is just a full push. You have to give up that space.
Push back that impact the second.
Foxy purposely hid his footsteps to make it sound like backup hadn't arrived yet, but the flash is just too strong.
Try and dominate these smokes, getting into the angle. Shot down to clear all these possibilities.
Does work out for the Flood.
1v2. Difficult scenario. Jumping, spotting. Zelsis is hunting for the information to try and set up tens. Round, hopping, skipping, looking for the easiest. Fights here, isolated.
Oh my gosh.
He's still alive.
Oh my gosh. Zelsis is playing this very smart. He's wrapping around. He's going to go all the way to C. Oh, he's going to plant B?
He's going on the long flank around.
I mean, this is going to take so long that Zelsis surely has a read at some point. He also has a position where he actually has 2 angles he needs to worry about here, because it could have been a wrap around the spawn. Could be coming in through main. Oh my gosh, Mako, really?
Around the world, around the map at this
point. Oh, at this point, but he's hiding back sight. He just has to. I mean, he has no way of knowing.
A couple of stray shots here, and it's all about if he just sets his side onto it, but he reveals his hand early. Smoke. It's dropped down, 21 health. Again, straight bullets could just cause it. Defeating the moment for the pistol. Mako would have.
Oh my gosh, he's beating him in. Dude, that's so smart. He gets stunned and he purposely baits him in because, oh my, there's no way you're. It's either you're sticking it or you're a dead goose anyway.
Seconds available.
The mind games, but you make him think you're sticking it because you're like, well, he's stunned. The only option he has is to stick the half. So Zelsis waits and peeks in at the half, but Mako was waiting the entire time for him to push through on a far angle. Holy dude, how does he get that kill, by the way, onto who was it? Tens?
Only 21 health remains on the IGL for DRX. Because at that point, a stun, a right click, and Mako's done so.
I mean, that was anybody's, though. We praise Mako because he won, but if he lost, it's just like GGNT. Zelsis played that super well, starting from the site on A. You are spotted. Oh my! Doesn't matter.
That is so precarious.
The short-range headshot.
Holy.
There's a lot that could go wrong.
Zelsis could have waited for the full defuse, but then, like, you have to rush in. You know what I mean? Like, I think Zelsis' decision is correct. It's just that Mako knew what the correct call was, and he weaponized that as best as he could.
Good so
I guess you could argue that maybe Zelsis holds the stun, but I think because of the smoke, Zelsis also just didn't want him to somehow like cross and wrap all the way around and him have to like double guess until the smoke goes away and things like that. So I honestly don't think there's much to blame on Zelsis' play, but I think Mako knew what the right play was and weaponized that against him.
On this defense side, he's going to get tough for SEN. Very tough.
He's already building up to it with that outlaw. Definitely feel it, but
also quite a lot of respect given too, right? DRX not having anybody that just keeps the pistol into this round. So these are going to be the weapons they keep to the bonus.
Paranoia to stop. There's the aftershock. Tens is above, though. No one has cleared him. Nobody has cleared him. Oh, okay. I take away the weapon. Okay. All right. Okay. We got our weapons. Oh, hello. Okay.
Good cleanup. Only one player is going to be ecoing in this round for DRX. Otherwise, a bonus that's got some bite.
Although I will say, probably the only thing that Zelsis could have done better is you knew he was low.
Who should be expected to be a favorite?
So I think right before the half finishes, you could have just tried to spray a right click in and then back off and see if there's like gunfire back or not, and then peek in. It would have still kind of felt like a 50-50 if Mako just held his trigger, but
if they can shrug that off and get back
could have been one way to do it.
It should be a really good map for them, like Termi was talking about.
He's got to be careful here because already a short control, relatively lost. He's got to hear this drone now and should be calling some form of backup.
They're not using the sight smoke, by the way. But they do have a cam.
DRX happy to give this one up.
It's a little hidden.
So it's pulled a lot of util out of SEN, anticipating that they could be anchoring.
I like that clear as well. Great stun that Zekken throws out.
Okay, so on this bonus, looking for a retake. Flash is already all used, presumably to just get them to back off from the close angle.
Just sidestepping most of this util now.
Oh, Zelsis is not hit at all with anything.
Confident and overconfident by Buzz himself, still locking down the angles. Zekken have a hard task at least with these players.
Good bait in from Voxy.
It does set him up.
It's a 2v2.
Zelsis trying to avoid this one up and around the cage.
I mean, it's an okay bonus.
Damage done to these SEN players differently.
Yeah, lots of damage. You drop 3 weapons, you take away all the armors, but they do get the plant, so.
Absolutely true. 2 rifles were all that Sentinels managed to escape with there. But only 1 Bulldog needs to be bought, and Zelsis is getting pretty close to his Rolling Thunder. So I don't think this is as bad as it might first appear.
Agreed.
Zelsis, speaking of him, that aftershock that he used in post-plan basically won them the round. The whole point for DRX there is that they're supposed to explode in off the retake, follow up on the buzz. They couldn't manage it. Zelsis there reaching for the trophy in real life as well.
Aggression by
Early
DRX
drone, but what a power play with the Paranoia. How does he get the third onto second? What in...
You can't be hitting those!
How do you spray transfer in a stun?
Fully stunned.
Onto 2!
What? Yeah, it's definitely a day of first, mate. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. And Sassy with a re-exploration, he's seeking to offset that disadvantage.
That's actually the nuttiest thing I've seen all year.
And a great set play to crunch onto A lobby
What in the world?
Shooting against people that were shooting back in that spot. He was shooting against people that were blinded up, stuffed into a corner, and yet
I mean, great set play though. So this should shut down a lot of the early aggression from Sentinels. Like this alone, the threat of this alone is gonna shut it down quite early.
Even just onto 10s is amazing, but then to catch second.
That's ridiculous. I do love a good delayed A lobby fight.
There's a way that they can do this with a variation, because they can now do it later in another round with a late bounce on a recon that lands, and then you activate it. Because right now the tell was that it's an early drone. Because that's a very early drone. Because I was wondering, I was like, I mean, I get that you want to push out, but a drone this early, and then the Paranoia was perfect.
If you can get that ball rolling, but
so they could try it again as a surprise, but it would have to be a different tell.
Got a feeling that that's leaning over towards me as well.
Yeah, Paranoia. The drone gets denied vision as well. The drone has gone through. He's just going to hide all the way through. Foxy was the only one who got tagged on that.
Now looking to lean there
You hear them taking it. Flashback is going to try to fight on site with the Cyber Cage. Surely they're checking for him. Oh, very quick on the reactions. Foxy's here just to try to prevent them, but they both get stunned. Good hold from Zekin, though.
So a bit of recycling occurring here with a Rolling Thunder. Again, these DRX players
Bane.
cannot escape. It's not the ire of that one.
I feel like he could have actually just stuck on the box.
Plenty of players that are weak, but Maka now is forced to concede up that space and concede the round.
It's a rough one. The Rolling Thunder very well placed from Zelsis, but DRX a bit late to react on that Rolling Thunder. I think they were hoping that maybe someone peeks out and maybe work off of it. They looked a little disjointed as well on whether they wanted to all back out entirely or not.
John had already taken the space in Garage and was ready to break the trip, give that away as late as possible. But they did.
Yeah, so the tripping Garage isn't enough. I mean, it's enough to basically get information on whether they've gone through or not, but it's not giving you actual control over that area.
And then gathering up the guns as they went to pull off the MasterCard Thrifty.
It's a dangerous element, I think, of SEN's overall game plan.
Huge ping, huge fault line. Zelsis' breach util is just so well placed.
And that's what Buzz is trying to do at the end there as well, right? He's trying to find that timing right before the neural theft comes through.
It's okay. It's okay, DRX.
Buzz.
All right, we got kill trips on C. Flashback gonna be, and he's got the cam to watch Garage, so I assume he'll play. Yeah, he's gonna play back and forth so that he could try to work off of Garage. He's just watching through that. Buzz is gonna get spotted, so you know the knives are over on A. But DRX basically, they're kind of, Flashback kind of wants them to try to just get into C for free. The smoke might actually help him a little bit. Early smoke as well. The Cyber Cage, just one tag on the trips. You see one broken, so you know one's coming in from Garage. Oh, saves his teammate as well. That's huge. The Aftershock is going to kill him, but love the TP from Mako. Love the TP from Mako. Yeah, unfortunately, he's only good for one. Oh my gosh. Okay, but you can pick up a weapon. 8 HP.
They had 10 HP between.
I'm not going to say it, but 8 HP.
With the majority of that still only on 8.
A massive advantage still here for DRX, like you said. It's on 8 HP. Drone. Save for a rainy day. We'll clear through most of this one, so Tens could not play the off angle like he was hoping.
Does he sneak back into the corner? No, he's just, oh my gosh, Tens. Full faith in his reactions. It's got to be a wide swing. Come on. No, oh my gosh, please don't.
Buzz is there, instantaneous with the trades.
For a moment, looked like Tens was posted on the right line, but Buzz is good for it. Takes that kill, takes the defuse. I don't think he's going to have enough money to be able to go for the operator, though. It looks like he might need to help out his mates. Tens was great trading out kills all throughout the site here. It was all that the DRX could do to hold on. Did manage to push
Dude, how is Sentinels firing like this at champions, man?
Well, at least to give him an opportunity and a chance in that spot.
And actually, they've gone with a judge onto Flashback so that Buzz can have enough money to go for the operator himself.
Interesting.
So here comes the op.
Might not be expected.
Okay, I like the op play.
Smoked off their own op here to
His op's been
the
good.
fact that Buzz is going to be playing in this direction.
Yep.
Normally,
and then
in this position means the op is not.
And basically at this point now, okay, no one's stuck in domain. At a certain point, Bane can start to rotate, and the only thing you're worried about is John QT lurking. No kill trip, unfortunately, because he's still got the judge.
Raining them down onto the players.
But there you go. Now the spam's coming through from Mako.
Through the gut of mid, drops down the cage as well because he knows he's getting cleared.
Okay, so you know the lurk was in mid, so Flashback's starting to get a little bit antsy. So is Buzz, right? Both of them realize there's a good chance that the next person they see is going to... Oh, what a swing! Ah, Buzz thinks about the repositioning. He's been smoked off. He hears the drop as well, so he knows that they're still inching forward. Oh my gosh, is Buzz going to go out? Is he going to go out on A main? You're insane. Oh my gosh, he gets one spot for him. Flashback does get a nice kill. He's pretending that he's not here. But Zekin had an inkling.
Tracking immaculate.
Okay, it was a one-for-one trade. It's a three versus two. I can't even talk. Oh my god, Zekken has the op. Oh no. You have to know he has the op. No smokes yet for Mako. You do have a paranoia. You don't have the fault line. You don't. Okay, the smoke comes back up. Where are you smoking? You're smoking where you think the op might be. That's a good call. Close is clear. Window trying to check.
But again, it comes down to these opening kills.
Okay, you know where one of them are, so Mako's going to try to keep him tied up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the distractions.
All the way through. Has the shot into the corner. Is it enough?
Oh my.
He survives the tap. Again, and needs to land it. The shot from Foxy9 and time. Just running away from him.
He's not going to get out.
Seconds just clutch that one up with 2
Oh, he barely
HP to
does.
his name. What is that?
Insanity that Zekken survives.
Multiple opportunities.
Yeah, no, insane. Zekken's neon is actually so good.
The whistle of a bullet.
How is his neon so good?
Foxy couldn't quite find the moment for it. Zekken played around that.
I mean, listen, Buzz made an incredible play, but I think the Omen TP might have given Zekken a bit of an inkling. I think he was also just trying to keep in mind, like, Buzz has been playing very aggressively, so that's good prep from Sen. That's very heads up. If Zekken wasn't already looking main, he would have missed the opportunity before Buzz tucks into main. He would have been able to chase, but would have wasted a lot of time, and Bane would have actually been able to just get the spray down on 2 people instead of only 1.
Brilliant as well, that definitely shone through in a Madrid run. Veteran quality that they have ready. Buzz.
Oh, that Buzz was not expecting that wide swing. Oh, he was trying to find a better position away from the smoke.
Looking to do better.
I do think whoever wins this match has a very likelihood of going all the way to the grand finals.
Instead of trying to have Bane,
whether it's Sen or DRX.
It is still available, but he's posted up deep. They're constantly trying to get info on Sen early towards the A site.
They're not going to be able to hold on to this though. Bane's already stunned up. Darts and flashes. What a shot. He's holding down the line still.
Oh, I mean, listen, the thing is Bane's been hitting some good shots, so that's good. Like, overall in the series.
Hero rifle was flanking the whole time.
Bad trip. Oh, no.
Well, they're giving away at least one of them is back here. He's trying to sound bait to make them forget about Mako. No, don't worry, guys. Really, it was only me, the Cypher. And he can also save this weapon, hoping that someone falls into the lap of Mako. But this is Sen tying things up 4-4.
All right, Mako gets an extra frag or just dodges the spike, either or.
Be a good thing for DRX that they just walked into the trip too. Sen might not fix it.
Yo, Div, you gotta calm down.
There's a couple of different trips that you want to go for.
I mean, I don't.
Actually still really good for defaulting over to
hitting that trip, like, it's a silly. Is it a mistake? Sure, but being like, do these guys not practice? Oh, I don't know. I think they get paid and they're playing the biggest tournament of life. I can't imagine that they wouldn't practice.
But then when you go into A, you really want to be
like, you can say that that's a mistake. Like, that shouldn't be happening. Like, oh man, you know, they're flubbing it. You know, they're nervous, whatever it is. But
to be honest,
just being straight up trying to, like, there's a difference between calling out mistakes and then using that as a reason to harp on things that you know aren't true. Right? There's a big difference. Right? It's like when people are like, "Oh, Termy's a paycheck stealer," and it's like, well, he's actually not. Could he have been making not the best decisions last year? Sure, but
yeah, and part of that was because they posted.
Does that automatic just because of, you know, like 6 months of not good results and not great decisions from our eyes after 2.5 years of amazing coaching, does that suddenly make him a paycheck stealer? Probably not. All right, so we gotta chill. I understand that it's coming from disappointment, but that's oftentimes where the worst toxicity comes from. So you gotta chill out. You gotta chill out. Trust me, I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting nervous, but you all have to learn to chill out when it's the team you're rooting for. Just because you're rooting for them does not give you an excuse to mask toxicity. I see this all the time in sports. I see this all the time, especially in K-pop. And it's like, well, I say it because I care. And it's like, well, yeah, that's like not how that works. You know?
An A lobby fight, as you already mentioned, why would you smoke off your own offer? Hoping that somebody would walk into it there.
But nobody did, and then they cleared him really effectively in the late round, even though they'd used
RB was on the Korean broadcast?
You know,
oh.
got to be really good at dealing with him on A. Maybe you should be not putting him
All right,
short again,
so timeout comes out. Now they're trying to slow things down again, trying to just position him. Here is that Hunter's Fury, and then, oh, this is an amazing set play.
Plenty more players here, just trying
Buzz
to
was hoping that he could get a kill right off of the spy cam hit, and then Foxy could bail him out, but the Hunter's Fury plus like Zekin's tempo on the slide-ins have really... NT from Foxy 9. That one, I mean... He was still flustered, but going for the pre-fire immediately... In some other dimension, suddenly he looks like a god. So the pre-fire isn't the problem. It's him not able to move and stutter right after to reset. You know, he got the step 1. I think the step 1 was a good step 1. He just didn't get the step 2 and 3, I think. So
we might not see champions winning level Sassy.
This if we try harder. Hard enough. With the power of friendship.
They're in such a good mood, man. You hate to see it. You hate to see SEN in a good mood when you're playing against them. All right, this is a good read. You know that once they want to start to put pressure onto A, TenZ has been doing this. Obviously, it was built as a counter to the Viper wall, but overall, it's a good clear from DRX. So that's good prep. Flashback getting taken out. I mean, it is an eco as a hero rifle.
Will deliver at least the 1 and the 2nd. He's made it potentially winnable.
I was about to say Mako's got to stay alive because he's got the smokes, but I was wrong.
Stay safe in through the back of the cyber bodies, just poking out, opening up, gliding through.
Dude, Second's Neon is good.
It's full momentum on their side.
It is.
Anders, I didn't realize it was you who said that.
Mako couldn't stop that round.
That makes it so much worse.
Bait out the Rolling Thunder on an equal round.
I thought it was someone. I thought it was another chatter.
I don't think so. They were out of there so fast.
Couldn't even see
Sassy picks up a beautiful lurk kill, and then straight through to C. Open doors. Their attack
nah, it's not done yet, chat.
Remarkably good.
I think honestly, this Neon is proving to be a menace, and it's so good against Buzz, actually, because he's been playing giga aggressive. They know that he's peeking off of it, man. They're trying to bait into him.
Oh!
Plot armor pack on DRX!
Out of there, but the damage is done.
Holy! Oh my god!
They thought that they had all the answers and options for it. Operator retrieve flashback.
Whoa, 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 no, 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 no,
down to 30 HP, jumping with the classic. Drops it back to that spectator seat. So, DRX, maybe that's the key to victory.
Buzz will give you
but SEN is so prepared.
Called it out. He needed a no scope to be able to
SEN is so prepared. As soon as they see that aggressive cam, they're like, all right, someone's peeking off of this cam. Get ready to flood him. You see them moving. The silhouettes start moving as soon as that cam activates. They're like standing, and they hear the click. They're like, click. And they're like, all right, everyone, get ready for the family photo. Only one of us is dying. That's scary stuff.
Obfuscate a little bit of how much SEN have been in control.
Scary stuff from SEN.
If DRX can get round 12, that's an amazing starting point.
Oh, a little messy. Just staying alive is huge. You can tell the Neon's tempo is ruining a lot. Like, they think they have time to back out with utility. They've been caught with that several times on Sunset. They're getting caught with it a couple times here on Haven.
That is decisive by DRX.
Like, when you're fighting fair and square, they're fighting 50-50. It's an all-out brawl, but
their expectations of what was going to go on. 4 in a row.
Now, here's the thing. On Sunset, they eventually, on defense, took the tempo where Zekin and Sentinel started to trip over their own tempo until a timeout came out. So that's what DRS has to look to do again.
He's made short work of it, enough to make it even.
This time, obviously, on their attack, so we'll see.
Explosive series that we are being treated to.
The scary thing about this Neon is a main. You're gonna have to kind of gauge it because what is it? It's tied 6-6 again. After the pistol, I think you still try for some early control and then see if the Neon pushes out aggressively for a main control. You know, I don't think you give respect to that immediately. I feel like, I mean, I guess you could always give it and then just re-clear it if you don't hear the sprint. There's, I guess, I mean, that's probably the safer route. I don't know if I go with that, though. And the crowd is so young for Valorant. It's insane. No wonder I just get a bunch of elementary school kiddies in my lobbies. I think you also perhaps... Oh, whoops.
I mean, it's familiar scenes, honestly, to the beginning of Sunset, where we started out with DRX winning that pistol round, dragging it over the line, making it nice and even at 6-6 with a few gun rounds towards the end. Very familiar indeed, and the question is, will it kind of repeat the script, I think, as well, because we were singing the praises of Sentinels for these pistol rounds and converting it. They've only showcased that at least once so far.
And if they manage to win here, it would be dead even between them. But of course, this is an opportunity for DRX to subvert that and start off on a good footing themselves. I've loved watching the clash between the value that Buzz and Zekken have been able to grab today.
Yeah.
They've given us some electric rounds.
World-class plays occurring. It's a SEN on their defense now.
Looking mostly set up
Okay.
kind of B pistol round.
Okay, so I like that they're trying to just make sure that they're pressuring A nice and early. I love that they're using the Cypher cage to mask a short pressure, right? So even if the Neon does come through nice and early, that alone should deter the Neon just taking full control of the lobby on her own. Amazing recon timing, but you go with the set play. You just push them out. It's a pistol round.
40 seconds now until the next recon, though, and that's a big tool to not have for the retake.
Yeah, but the fault line is there. That's the advantage that Sentinels has. They're actually going to try to flood it before the spike goes down. It actually does go down just in time, and Buzz was trying to get ahead of it. Dude, they bait him into the smoke off of that.
To occur before our eyes, and Mako left to pick up these pieces and do what he can. Stray bullets, damage done. Movement hopping around.
He's trying to deny the right click, but it's tough.
Now it's inevitable. At that, a pistol round here for Sentinels and a 3-piece of 10s to close that.
Even without the recon,
finding
value with drone and then just
I mean, amazing retake. They use the early util to make them think that they're going in, but they still wait for the drone to clear, and as soon as it does, they wait for the aftershock. Buzz has no option. He goes into the smoke. He's been stunned up. Zekken is checking that left corner, by the way, just in case, because that smoke was positioned in a really weird manner. I think Mako was just rushing it, but...
Hey, Tyson, we got this pistol.
Tyson. When they played Icebox against Gen G, it was looking very clean. But yeah, dead even on pistols now, both of these two teams. Buzz is going to try to...
Usually the defending team is given a chance to retake when you plant the spike, just so we're clear. And Sentinels was ahead of the tempo there.
Economy tumbles for one player still. That's a 140.
I don't think DRX was like, hey guys, it's your turn.
Here, but it was Tens was the one who does fall.
I mean, it's a pistol. What do you want them to do? Just walk out blindly through a choke point with classics?
Very cautious. They just spotted a body there.
Could they have maybe actually played it better and maybe actually gave more space for the retake? In hindsight, that probably would have worked better, but I actually think they were trying to deny the flood, and the early tempo has done a great job.
All danger just evaporates at that. Zekken can stick this one with full peace of mind.
I mean, Div, if you've got a full playbook, sign up for a team. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's easier said than done. They had a plan to stay ahead, and Sentinels was ahead of that. Now, does that excuse DRX? Is there no way for them to win that round? No, there is.
Somebody's going to have to pay the piper, though. It looks like it's going to be Mako who takes the hit economically.
I mean, also, just so we're clear, if that's true, like, I'm not going to humor it anymore, but you are starting to toe the line of not saying any toxic words while slowly becoming toxic. I'm just going to say, there's a way to vent frustration without saying that everyone's just not doing their job and they're stealing paychecks, right? There's a way to do this without implying toxic things.
These players on A could be taking more space right now. I think SEN have missed a little bit of a trick there. I think the goal was the call.
And I don't care if it comes out of love. That doesn't excuse it.
You know that they're not quickly running A. Right.
Again, call out mistakes. You know, but being like, oh, well, they should have, like, played better. If someone whiffs, like, well, they should have hit the headshot. I mean, I agree, they should have. They're pros, they should have, but they didn't. And there's a number of reasons why they might not have. Right? Like, Zekken probably shouldn't have been moving while he was spamming the Guardian. He would have hit a shot. But am I going to suddenly say that Zekken's not practicing his aim? No? That's ridiculous.
Flicks and adjusts in time. Zekken playing himself in. Starts to worry a little bit about the flank timing here, but I think he's heard the footsteps just scurrying away from Flashback. Still a hard retake, nevertheless.
Mako's using that smoke very well.
In the hands of these SEN players.
But he doesn't really have a way out afterwards. Yeah, so he's got to have to reposition. Okay, so the defender's smoke is actually helping him out a little bit. I think his head might barely show. Finds a good timing, though. But denying only one number. Okay, they do check the spike nice and early. You've still got Flashback coming back around. Uh-oh, you don't have the right spam. There you go.
Just praying that he can maybe get away with that one.
Rifles? That's expensive.
That's expensive.
Error there from Flashback, but
I mean, Foxy eventually got the kill, but they weren't getting the kill early, so Flashback had to go in to guarantee it, because you don't want to smoke spam and then miss out on it. So, I mean, that's a rough one. Yes, yes. I turned on stream instead of recording. Yes. That is true, Cho. That happened yesterday.
Way away from those big ults that we'd be paying attention to. Where did the DRX start their default?
That's full on. So no, I did anything about that. That's a lobby take. All that space that's given up here, DRX, they have a couple of options, but they instead just choose to send it straight over towards B. As an aftershock will have to be respected. TP.
I mean, you always know that that's coming, though, right? So you baited out that util.
Walking up behind it. Spam and spray it down to QT.
Ooh, a little bit of missed.
And well lined up for him. The unexpected play. Sometimes the better.
So the lineup actually wasn't the problem there, because the lineup, I mean, Buzz was playing very individually because he was just trying to get the swing on him and didn't ever consider the fact that Foxy was stunned. But if Buzz didn't swing, Foxy probably would have died anyway. So the lineup is unfortunate. That one I'm willing to excuse. But when they clear the trip, they both try to clear the left corner. So once again, when they're going for these double swing outs, when they're going for these flood outs, DRX, overall, the line of sight actually hasn't been that clean on average today. And I'm not quite sure where that's coming from. Is it panic? Is it nerves? Is it comms? Only the team knows. If it's comms, it's much more easy. Well, not easily, but it's much more fixable in the short term. If it's nerves, that's on you.
Early for SEN on the defense side. DRX's economy is going to be hurting after that one.
On Sunset, I was willing to chalk it up. Not that, again, that's excusable because you left the map open. But on Sunset, I was willing to chalk it up to, okay, you guys haven't played it in a while. All right, maybe the the protocols have kind of slipped. That's unfortunate. But Haven, that excuse isn't there.
Do they think he's not going to be in position there?
But you ran back. I was stunned. I was like, I'll come in there.
They're talking there about that commitment, committing to the retake.
Yep, gotta have that timeout.
Take a tag timeout. I didn't like the macro pathing. Is basically how I want to sum up this statement, though.
Yeah, I mean that's also the most obvious tell. I think breaking the trip is fine just because it's such a straightforward thing to do. And trying to fight for one kill there, I think, is okay. But all of them being grouped up in a choke point like that is rough.
If DRX want to add another layer to that, then save your flash and dash to tap the plant and then flash and dash into the B connector, the AB link. That's going to catch Zelsis a lot of the time, and it's a really standard place for the breach to be holding.
this Sentinels fan from Japan came prepared.
And it was a little unfortunate, I suppose, that Buzz and Foxy9 lined up, but if Buzz isn't going to get those entries, then...
Japanese fans seem to love, like, having a slideshow ready on their tablets. I've noticed that. I think Chinese fans might have done it too. Korean fans, there's a couple Korean fans, but Korean fans are much more about, like, one piece of work.
I think we forget that, despite the fact that he's a veteran. Yeah, it's a good point. Picking up the mantle of IGLing, it's a real hard just task ahead of
Foxy 7 and 10, Bane 9 and 12. I mean, yes, they're negative, but it's not the kills that are weighing them down per se. Zekken is farming, but
at least in partnerships.
It's not that it's a lack of kills, but it is the frequency of the deaths. Yep, we've still got the music going. Audio.
Sure, we'll get game sound soon enough. Buzz just hopping away here. He's at the one with the hero.
So finally, the aggression comes out in A main super fast, and DRX was always kind of worried about this. And Sentinels is doing it off of a timeout on an eco. They know they can risk it. Dude, Seconds movement is
nature from Sentinels, but they maintain the composure, now backing away.
Holy.
They realized that DRX were on an eco round here. There was a possibility that DRX could have forced. That's a risky play to go for when you're on an anti-eco. They've left the C site open. There's still Cypher utility in that spot.
Maybe it's because they thought it was a force. I feel like the force, if it's a stingers and stuff, it could have been even riskier though.
This is actually going to be really tough to get back into.
Clear up these players.
No one going through the B side. Everyone trying to go through this one way.
With how disjointed it is, but a one-way fails. Mako, stand off the line.
Flashback, it's all on you. Oh, he went for the spray because the Neon had ult.
Wrong target, but he does retreat.
Yeah, dude, Mako. We gotta calm down. He just landed a sick headshot on Foxy9.
Rifle spam, not enough. Sentinels now up to 10. The risky play at the beginning of this round as well. No punish in sight for it, despite the fact that it could have been that potential.
And Mako is gonna be kicking himself. He almost got robbed in that spot. He 140'd Zelsis, sorry. There was only one player with full health. That was Zelsis. He 140'd him, killed John Cudy. One more bullet in that spot, and that's a winnable 1v3 for Mako. There were some serious risks being taken there for Sentinels. But risks or no, they get it done. And now a 3-round lead. It is very similar. An even half that Sentinel starts running away with.
Okay, you have Rolling Thunder, but they have Huntress Fury. They're 2 away. So are you from Rolling Thunder, Huntress Fury, respectively. So I thought Sentinels was going to run this again. So to me, they did it because the enemies were on an eco, and then you're going to do it again on the buy round. See if they expect it or not. If they do, you hold. If they don't, then whatever. Oh. The angles, man. The angles.
Maintains his composure. The rifle aim at least intact to bring down Zekken.
It's good damage. But
you knew they came into the cubby. Was nobody watching the cubby.
Finding his way through. Does anyone think?
Footsteps, knives out.
The line of sights have not been good today. And I don't know what the reason would be, but that's a good fight from Zelsis, I guess.
3K to finish it. Up to 11 now for Sen, and at this point, it really does feel like full momentum on display.
Sentinels overall is playing really well today, too. It's both things. But to me, it feels very similar to the Gen G game, where, well, I would say Gen G looked a bit more flustered, and they had like heroics trying to carry them through from texture. I think a little bit less of that, a little bit more team play for the rounds that DRX did win. But at the end of the day, it feels like it's just enough of Sentinels playing well, like on the rounds that matter, and having a couple great individual performances. Like Zekken's Neon right now is just, it's going through the roof. And then DRX, the fundamentals are worse for DRX today, 100%, right? And it was a very similar thing with Gen G. Now I know why Sentinels is playing well mostly. The real question is what's going on with DRX. Granted, I would say that DRX's fundamentals not being consistent for the entire tournament, much more understandable and, well, not understandable is the wrong term, much more expected than Gen G. Again, I've always said that what they've done so far, how they've played, the results they've had so far is it's way above my expectations already. So, like, I'm not even meaning this as cope. When I see the line of sight problems happening, dude, Zekken is on one. Yes, they were stunned, but the decision, the stuff like pulling out the classic, it's not like godlike stuff, but a lot of players don't do that.
They're so far ahead of these rounds. DRX are taking a little bit of A-long control, hoping that SEN are going to re-clear into them. SEN are already thinking 3 steps ahead. They're thinking,
I mean, it's a good lineup. It's a good spray. Here's the thing is that this was very calculated, though, right? He was always hiding out in the smoke. Nobody was on site. So you're getting them to come into the site. Like, this was absolutely bait by Sentinels. So that's why he's laughing. He knows. He knows that their call worked 100%.
5 chances to close out and start moving
It's, I mean, you've got ults. So you have ways to cycle through it, but now you got to account for that Odin too. So they're trying to fish for it. No Odin reaction out from window. Okay, not quite there. Obviously, it's a tight space. You're going to re-clear because it has been a little bit. You didn't hear the Neon sprinting, but you're trying to see, did anyone creep up? Then maybe the Neon's trying to creep up with no sound. I don't know. That would be a very risky thing to do, but either way, they clear close. Not sure if they would have heard the drone. They're very aware of that flashback. They know that when things go wrong for DRX, it's flashbacks to Lurks that get them back into the game. So they're still watching. They still don't see it. You still have 10s without an ultimate ready to clear out the map as they go through. Tripwires on both sides. He hasn't gotten the sight lines. Okay, you know that one was below, but Second's not spotted. Mako, important kill. Huge important kill. Okay.
Wrapping it around now with 30 seconds remaining. DRX to do get themselves now.
This is gonna go for this. He should know that flashback is somewhere. Oh, flashback. Even dude, flashback getting antsy. That's definitely a mental thing for sure. Flashback's one of the cleanest in those situations.
Ballsy play. Skips the clearance most of the side as well. He's looking to
very well played from Bane though. You have to play. Yep. You basically play distance. You heard the shadow step and you say, okay, we got 2 different angles. I've got a Hunter's Fury. He's going to have to make sure that he's cleared it if he doesn't want to get blasted by the Hunter's Fury. So we just keep the distance, play for time. And that way, you kept your ults. That's the important part about this round. At some point, you're going to have to use them. But this time, you felt that you had an opportunity, given how the map had played prior. And you go for it.
Exactly the entry that Buzz was looking for. Elsis has picked up an Odin. He's going to be spamming down short at the start of this round. Everyone on DRX.
Yeah, you can tell flashback's kind of getting to him. I mean, this is. I thought he was going to stand, try to stick the Hunter's Fury here. No tags. Stun. He's going to go for another slide out. Mako TP next.
Barely alive, but this is it for SEN. Close down the curtain on that one. They are the career
damn.
Knocking DRX down to
GG. I mean, SEN came prepared again. And honestly, they pulled. Here's the thing: is that I honestly think whoever won this map gets a huge momentum boost. Not just because it's the first round of playoffs, but like because of the style matchup here between these two teams and the peaks that each of them had. And I think Sentinels pulling out the Neon on both of these maps today is a massive win. It sets them up a lot. Like, I think the Neon pick alone threw DRX off too much. It shouldn't have. Even if you didn't see it coming, it's not like Neons are new. Even on Haven, it's not like they're new. It's definitely not new on Sunset because you were playing the Neon as well. So it shouldn't have thrown them off that much. But I do think the Neon threw them off quite a bit. Oh, he gave him a hug because he's the Korean Zelsis.
DRX can fight back. They can battle back. But they took a hard knock down to the floor with that.
They certainly did. And I had a big question for SEN today. Are you still going to be able to play as well as you did?
You are straight up 100% wrong, by the way, Div. And if that's your attitude, then You shouldn't be chatting in this chat.
Their tenacity on Sunset
Call them
and
out.
their
Call them out on their
clean second
mistakes.
half on
Their
Haven
line of sight was bad.
still
They
be
didn't have good double swings. They didn't have good trade angles. This is all true. This is stuff they need to work on and stuff you need to win. Does that mean they deserve everything the fans are going to say? Death threats or not? Absolutely not. You need to stop this attitude. All right? Because that would mean that any team that doesn't lift the trophy, all of them deserve to just get shit on social media, which is not true at all. Honestly, I don't know why I'm still humoring you instead of just banning you from the chat. I'm trying to give you the good faith because I know you've been a regular on our streams, and I know you're coming from just a lot of passion for the Pacific teams, but that's not the way to do it. I don't care what culture you come from, it's wrong, okay? That's not the way to do it. And if you think you're in the right, then you're more than free to go to another chat where they think it's right as well. But I'm all for calling out mistakes. Did DRX play clean? No, they didn't actually play as clean as they usually do at champs.
Hello, everyone, and here I am with Sentinel Zek, now everybody.
That does not excuse people to shit on human beings. That's not how that works. You can call out mistakes. You can say that they weren't good enough today. You can say that they weren't as good as you expected them to be, or they weren't as good as they were in the previous matches, and you don't understand why. That's fine, because I don't understand why.
Congratulations, second. You took down #1 and #2 Pacific teams in a row. Now, how are you guys able to bounce back so quickly after that first match here in Seoul to make sure that you guys are in a full championship form?
I think we just have a lot of resilience. We knew the first match that wasn't the best version of ourselves, and we knew we could be way better. So the next week we practiced a lot and kept playing and kept playing. And I just think we're in good form.
I mean, listen, 2 matches in a row where they have some good heroics, where they're looking a lot more in form, where the vibes aren't dropping at all. I mean, I was a little afraid after the first time. I mean, FPX, I thought it was just like well played. Gen G, I was like, whoa, okay, this is like a really impressive performance. Now I don't know, maybe SEN is back.
설치를 한 이후에 자리 잡는 시간을 주지 않는 팀인데 이 부분을 잘 카운터친 것 같거든요. 좀 어떤 계획이 있었는지도 물어보도록 하겠습니다. So I want to ask you about the game plan against DRX on Haven, especially because DRX, they're known for not letting you have that time to reposition after you have the plant down. So what specifically did you see in their playstyle or in their strats that you could exploit today?
I mean, they moved around a lot, so we tried to do like little fakes, little things to get them to rotate. They like to fast flood a lot, so we just did our best to get in good positions as fast as possible before they were ready for it, and it just kind of worked out.
I'm just gonna say that question could be taken the wrong way of Jen just trying to get info out of him. That was a very pointed question. Obviously, it was open-ended, so Second was free to not answer it, but that was I just thought it was funny.
자리 잡는 걸 굉장히 잘하기 때문에 그런 부분을 못하도록 한 번 더 역습을 치르는 그런 경기를 펼쳤다고 얘기를 합니다. 오늘 그리고 제켄 선수 두 맵 모두 2연 네온으로 폭발적인 모습을 보여줬는데 약간 뻔하지만 물어보고 싶은 질문을 물어보도록 할게요. 지금 세계 최고의 타격대는 누구일까요? So now we saw you being explosive on 2 maps.
I mean, listen, one thing is for sure though, Zekin's Neon looks pretty darn good, individually and as a teammate.
Right now, is it you? Is it you?
Probably Aspas.
아마 아스파스가 아니지 않을까라고 얘기를 합니다.
Smart answer.
기대와 희망이 점점 높아지고 있는데
Very, very well played. Very well played, Zekin.
여정에 있어서 좀 경계되는 팀이 있는지 마지막으로 물어보도록
Dude,
할게요.
well played. What a winning answer.
Hopes are high. Do you feel like there's any team that can challenge you on your journey to host the trophy?
I mean, I think all of the teams left can challenge us. Every team left in this playoff bracket is incredibly strong, so we have to be on our A game all the time. I think, anyone can, really.
아무나 다 워낙 이제 남은 팀들이 쟁쟁하기 때문에 긴장을 풀지 않고 열심히 해야 될 것 같고 아무나
Do you think DRX has a better chance against EDG or Trace?
항상 우리가
That's a good question, actually.
경기를 펼쳐야 될 것 같다고 얘기했습니다. 이렇게 해서 제켄 선수 만나봤습니다. Thank you, Zekken.
Thank you.
GG.
I actually want to see... What is that picture? Was that always the team banner for Sentinels this event? John's face like that? I did not realize that. That's funny. That's a good question. EDG or Trace for DRX? You know, I was thinking that. Flash Legend, thank you. I wasn't actually sure, so I didn't say it because I didn't want to look like an idiot. But he did used to play the Neon, right? It's just the first time he's pulled it out this year. I was like trying to think back. I was like, I swear we've said that his Neon was good before. But then I was like, I'm not sure. Right? On X set. Okay. Yeah. Although I guess that was restricted to Fracture, but... I'd have to go back and look, actually, because I remember people saying, like, during that era that his Neon was good. I wonder if it was... I mean, he's gotten better as a player, so obviously there's going to be that, but... But it was complementary to Cryo's Chamber. I mean, maybe. Obviously, that plays very differently. I mean, I think he just played it well, though. Well, chat. GG Sentinels. I just want you all to know. I always knew. I always knew that I was proud to be an American. All right, GG's DRX. All right, the best team in the world is winning champs. Sentinels all the way. We're going. All right, I just want you to know. I've pretended long enough that I really, really believed in Pacific. But I'm just saying, America's the best at Valorant. Ay. Oh, man. Hey, no matter what I do, everyone calls me a Pacific hater anyway. I got nothing to lose. Oh my gosh. I mean, listen. I'm like, as much as I legitimately, it wasn't blind opium, but I'm also like, if Sen was gonna win like this, like there was I do think it was a small chance Sen played this well today, but if they're gonna play like this, they're gonna beat DRX. If they play like this, even if they meet again, I actually think Sen still wins. As close as that first map was. I actually think so. What do you mean, why do I have the flag here? I just bleed freedom. I have American flags all over my apartment. My wife's already preparing for a naturalization test. It's all going smooth. What do you mean?
Finally, right? We had such an incredible Sentinels versus DRX, and it doesn't matter what happens now. I want to see how the rest.
Yeah, no, if they play like this, I think they go all the way to the grand final at the very least. So, I think that's why I'm like, it's a shame, but it's like not. It's not shocking just because it's like there was a world where they play like this, and that's the world we live in.
Matchup, but as you said, EDG has always had their number.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Trace, when you watch them play at home, you saw the ideas that they show here, right? Trying to play with really structured,
Trace versus EDG though, like who's a better?
Felt like there was this block when they played against EDG. The EDG would just take control. The chaos would get injected into the game, and they would crush them pretty much.
Who's a better matchup for DRX?
Yeah, we know
Man, what do you think, chat? Part of me wants to say EDG, actually.
A bunch of time. Trace hasn't even been able to get a map of EDG.
Part of me wants to say EDG.
Trace did make it flawlessly out of their group. They did drop.
Yeah, Trace has only ever gone 2 maps against EDG, and that's the match they won. It's
against the other regions.
This is like the David and Goliath story of David and Goliath stories.
It's EDG. Sometimes it's just gonna happen.
For sure. And
That is true. Trace is predictable, but their macro is good. Like that's my concern, because I don't know if DRX.
that showed up and upset teams like Vitality and Leviathan.
I think DRX had some good prep in the group stage, but it's not like they were like, I don't think they were getting ahead of adjustments per se. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they were getting reads off of the in-game stuff. It was more the prep they did, which is not surprising considering I imagine it took every ounce of energy that the coaching staff had to even get them, I'm going to say, that disciplined, not counting this previous match. So
and this one, especially when it went to the third map, you could feel this is either going to be a stop.
I mean, yeah. I mean, then again, G2 playing passively and trying to read macro is why I think I favor DRX over G2 if that matchup were to happen. So, now Simon's a huge addition. Simon allows Smoggy and Concon to pop off IMO.
I feel like in their region they know exactly what to do. This shouldn't feel for them like they're international.
Yeah, EDG has won every trophy that we've had in the partnership era in VCTC, and they're dominant there. And honestly, the latter part of that series was dominant against PaperX too. It looked a lot like some of those China games where the game got a little bit chaotic, it got messy, it got muddy, but they held strong. They still had great individual moments and honestly solid trading, all things considered, to close out in those chaotic situations. That's where EDG thrives.
Yeah, and this is the thing though, at this point, making out of groups is just not enough for EDG anymore. They have so much pressure from the fans back at home, especially after what happened. They want to push it further. And Mimi, is it a realistic goal for them this time around?
I think it's tough to say. In group stage, we saw some good form.
It's so crazy that somehow I have become the cause of DRX's roster change. Listen, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. You can clip it. You can do whatever you want with it. I have no regrets. Still love RB. Still love Stacks. Love Zest. Want to see them all in all the different leagues. But I have zero regrets.
The other side, we're talking about Trace making it first seed out of their group. This can go two ways. Either it gives you the confidence to feel, yo, this is my tournament. The things that we were not able to achieve before, we're gonna do now. First, making it out of groups, making it out of groups.
That's right. My double Asian agenda going perfectly.
It keeps getting the experience that sometimes when we see the situations when it looks like they're going to win and they get that third map again.
Hold on, let me see what the weather is like outside.
You say,
oh
maybe
my
this is the tournament.
gosh.
Maybe this is the chance.
I mean, this is the other thing with EDG. But first, let's check in with Smoggy.
Well, the rain has stopped.
Ahead of today's match.
Hey everybody, GB here now with Smoggy. We got Luna for the translations yet
Let me
again.
see the forecast here.
EDG and you specifically, Smoggy, have been playing awesome throughout this competition. How excited are you for EDG, but also for the Chinese region as a whole? Because you guys have 2 teams in playoffs.
那其实在之前的比赛里面不光是你个人 EDG 整体的发挥都非常的棒。那
Dude, I can't tell if they're just not holding the mic close enough to whoever GB's interviewing, or if it's literally just that his projection is so much stronger at a baseline than everybody else who talks.
我觉得我还是很开心的。然后我觉得私人赛区来到冠军赛的每一
Like his voice is just so much louder on this interview mic.
就是不后悔就好了。
I think I'm satisfied with the result right now. Every team from
Okay,
SEN
it had to have been the
tried their
direction.
best, and they are
Now her
super
voice is
great
bigger.
Teams, and we'll try our best.
Yeah, well, we've loved every minute watching China absolutely light
Nope,
up the
his
stage.
voice is
Thank
still
you so
louder.
much,
I
Smoggy,
think the
for
audio
coming back to
director just raised the volume.
This is the thing about Smoggy as well. He's saying how he's very happy about the results. He doesn't look that happy, but he's ice cold. And some of the ice coldness, Mimi, has given EDG a chance to look great.
It certainly has.
No, I don't think it's his mic aiming. I think I mean it is much easier to know how to aim the mic for yourself than it is for someone else, but yeah, GB I mean, he does have a very loud voice. He has very loud projection even when he's talking, even when you're chatting. So I think that's probably the big difference here.
It's not just about Kong being a star duelist anymore for them to win.
You know, maybe when we were discussing and talking about our rosters, if we had to play one player from every region, for me it would be Smoggy, because I feel him and I feel like
It is saying that it's gonna rain again, chat.
that he needs in it. When he needs to be more on the controller side, when he needs to be
I would have to leave in 45 minutes. I might not even be able to finish a map. So guess what?
The roster work time and time again. Plus
Chat, since the best team in VCT history has finished their match with a clean 2-0 win.
I do wonder if he's going to put in that performance today.
Well, by the way, I like this New Jersey. How dare you hate on EDG's New Jersey? That's insane.
Team for China at this point, given their performance in the group stage.
I love it because pick'ems have been such a big thing this year. Like you have it in the launcher and everything inside of the game. And I feel like Trace destroyed some of the dreams for so many people.
But since I will have to possibly bounce before the first map finishes. Yeah, we're gonna go to Ryan. That's right. There's only one man to follow when it's China versus China, and it's Ryan Central. So, trust me, you'll if you haven't ever watched the stream, you'll appreciate it, especially when it's Chinese teams. So I'm gonna send you over there.
Being such a
justice for FPX.
Absolutely, but Trace is a team.
Yeah, Seth, I saw that. Let me get back to you. I was just busy bleeding freedom and talking an eagle on stream. All right, well, thanks so much, everyone. I'm glad we all got to witness the greatest region ever in VCT take their clean 2-0 victory. And we will see you next time.
They've looked so clean, and they're besting some of the best teams in the world, like Leviathan, to